and then this clip here at the beginning. The Bible is very clear about, you know, what's going to happen in the end times.
Are you kidding me? I mean, of all the things the Bible is exactly not clear about, it's that. The book that they all point to as, like, you know, what's going to happen in these end times that are just about to happen any second now. It includes things like a 7-headed dragon with horns. It's seven horns each, and then one of those horns actually has a little horn protruding from it, and then that little horn protruding from it takes over the other horns, and then the little horn that it takes after it takes over the other horn, that it takes over the other horns, and then I guess it jumps from one dragon head to a different head and takes over those horns as well. It's really good, but it's clear. The Bible is clear on this matter. Literally not. Literally the opposite of what clearness is here. So yeah, no, he's wrong. He's just wrong. That's all. Just say, that's all I wanted to say about that. No. Moving on.
With Israel. Now, some people, they believe in like replacement theology and stuff like that. You guys, most of you know where I stand on it. I personally...
Replacement theology? I don't know. I know the racist replacement theory, but I don't know the replacement theology. Is that... I don't know. Is it what is that?
I'm not sold that the people that are over there in Israel are the actual Jews from the Bible, because the Bible says they'll be scattered all throughout the earth. But what I do know is the Bible says the whole world is going to turn against Israel, and that there's end time implications.
Hold on. Okay. So, all right. So already this is kind of interesting. He's saying that he doesn't think that the Jews that are in Israel are the ones from the Bible, because they're supposed to be spread all over the place, which is kind of interesting, just because that they are literally. I mean, they are spread all over the place. There are Jewish people that are also in Israel. Does he think like they're all supposed to just be in Israel? I guess he doesn't think that, but do people think that like all the Jewish people are just gonna be in Israel and that's it? Like they're nowhere else?
And maybe I'll do a teaching on that one day. But look at this, right? I just want you to see what this guy is saying about Israel, and then compare that to what you see the narratives are that are out there. Now, of course, you guys know I am not no Zionist. I'm not going to blindly defend the people, but I like to do my own research and due diligence. And so,
wow, that's interesting. That I'm kind of surprised that he said that, given that the particular side of the aisle he's on, and the way that he is used to be anyway, blindly just defending Trump no matter what the hell he did. But now I guess he's like, I ain't no Zionist. So, fascinating. I did not see that come. Although he has like criticized Trump more recently, pretty much ever since he did the Obama jungle post or whatever. He kind of diverged from automatic Trump support once the gorilla meme thing that he did with Obama, and then said that it wasn't his fault, refused to apologize, and so on and so forth, because he's Trump. That's what he does. He just sort of says that he's always right, even if he changes his mind and says two mutually exclusive claims. He's just still actually right about both of them somehow. It's logic just takes a huge hit when it comes to people that have to apologize for that guy.
So listen to what he's saying.
الإسرائيليون يعرفون بدقة ويعرفون.
Hey, Deep State, what's going on? How we doing? Got deep State interest here. What's going on? What's up? What's up, party people?
And
what's got that? What is the party people? Wow, that was I think where did I even get that? That sounds like something from a movie or something that Sorry about that. Wow, didn't mean to do that to y'all.
الشعب الإسلامي إذا يأتي يوم وهو قادر على قصف إسرائيل وعلى ظهر
Dude, we can't understand it, and your face is in the way of the words. Okay, so you gotta either read it or we all gotta go learn Muslim. Is that a language? Is that a language? I don't think it's not a language. I'm sorry, I'm being racist. What is it? Kevin doesn't know either. Okay.
ضربة على إسرائيل وعلى إذا كانوا قادرين على إزالة إسرائيل سيفعلون مع إسرائيل ما فعله حماس.
كل الشعوب الإسلامية.
كل الشعوب الإسلامية.
You see that, right? So Americans will try to downplay that. They're telling you like we will.
I didn't even read it. I'm going to be honest. What? Oh, the name of this video, I guess I forgot to say that. The name of the video is The Pope, Tucker Carlson, and Anne Hathaway, all in the same list somehow. Not really sure how that works. All working for the beast? Question mark? Are they working for the beast? Tucker Carlson, Anne Hathaway, and the Pope. Could you imagine them working together on anything? I couldn't.
We're going to destroy Israel if we get the chance. That's what Islam and the Muslims want to do. And we've got so many videos of this, and we know that they want to take over the West and, put the Sharia law out there. And even Tucker.
What the? No, that's not a thing any of them have said. There's been plenty of you people. And when I say you people, I mean right-wing Christian MAGA people. That's the type of you people I'm saying. Just feel like I need to clear that up. That can be offensive if you're talking about a certain thing. Anyway, but no, they don't ever say that. You guys just say that they say that, and it never seems to ever be the case that they're even attempting to try to do that. I mean, here in Florida, we just had a bill I think it passed too, because we have just an absurd amount of Republicans here. And so I'm pretty sure it just passed right away. I don't even know if they go through any kind of political like negotiation or anything like that. Just sort of just beep, goes straight through. If it's Republican, it just automatically becomes law. But that they're banning Sharia law here in Florida. And DeSantis showed up to his whatever press briefing, whatever, he had Sharia law written on a thing with a big circled crossing it out, and it's what the hell are you guys talking about? But it especially right now, it makes a lot of sense given that we're at war with a Muslim country, and they are kind of kicking our ass. To be totally honest, we are not accomplishing anything, even though we don't really know what we would be accomplishing because we're really unclear about what we're even trying to do in this stupid war. But so yeah, the Islamophobia is kind of just hitting peaks at the moment, right? And I'm pretty sure it's gonna get back to kind of where it was, just right after 9/11. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good at that moment. So I feel really badly for Muslim people trying to exist in this country right now. It's gotta suck. But anyway, back to this guy. We got some other fun videos too that are different than this. I know that really narrows it down as far as what we're going to be covering. But they're fun though.
Carlson was saying some crazy stuff about Sharia law is better than what we got in America. It was something completely bananas that I'm sure we're gonna play here. I'm gonna pull it up because I don't want to forget. When I said, man, either this dude is getting paid.
Is that what Tucker Carlson said? He said Sharia law is actually better than what we're doing in America. I don't think that's what he said, but guys, come on, real Tucker Carlson, really? What the? Just because he doesn't hate. Well, but he does though. That's just the weirdest thing. Sometimes I think he's trying to just be controversial on the right, just so his name keeps getting kicked around by all of these people that want to like him and everything, and they like him in a lot of ways, but they just don't like him about this one thing, and that keeps him being talked about, and he knows that, and that's how the internet works these days. And so that's here's where we are.
Or he's being completely brainwashed, which, oh, by the way, that's another thing that we're going to show in this video. Someone challenged him, okay, Patrick David, to
Patrick Bet Davidson
put their bank accounts out there to see if he's getting paid by Israel or if Tucker's getting paid by, some kind of radical groups out there. He put that challenge out there, and I thought that was kind of interesting. All right. So anyways, Bob.
What challenge did he put? He said to put his bank account out there. Let us all just rummage through your bank account, please. You can leave out the number, but we want to see those statements. Okay. And if we see any statements that say from radical Islamists, well, then we'll know. Then we'll know. You're getting paid. You're getting paid by radical extreme Islamists.
Online, you see that clip. You see that this is what they're saying. I've played for you guys many videos.
What's up, Andrew? How we doing? All right, we doing all right? It's good to see you.
Where, Muslims believe that it's their God-given, mission to go out into the world and take over. And we see it happening in Europe. We see it happening in Dearborn, Michigan, New York, other places like that.
Where have you seen any of this, dude? Where have they taken over? Where have they taken over the government? Is there a town where they won the mayoral race? Like, what the hell are you talking about? They took over. Get the fuck. So ridiculous, dude. And by take over, a lot of times they mean like a place where there's a slightly higher percentage of Muslims than like other religious groups or whatever. Just like Chinatown or something like that, right? Like, and there are parts of cities and stuff that are like that, but they don't start just doing Sharia law. Like, that's not how anything works. It's so weird. Oh, and that was the other thing. DeSantis, let me switch over. When DeSantis, that's what I was working up to talk about. Totally lost it. When DeSantis did his little press release thing, right? He got out there and he said, no more honor killings. No more honor killings in Florida. That's right. That's right. And I'm like, when the fuck were there ever honor killings? Those are always illegal. Okay. Killing. Unjustified. Like, if it's not self-defense and, there's a couple of caveats there. Killing is always illegal. Okay. So what the fuck? What are you talking? Like, what? They're like, no, but this special kind of killing used to be legal, and now it's not because of DeSantis. What? When? Like, what the fuck? Oh God, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's just, dude, you just hate Muslims, and it's just like, this is so easily, it's so obviously just because we're at war right now, so they can kind of like use this hate to sort of radicalize their base even more, but and feel like they have some kind of like legitimate concern. And I knew they were going to do this because we're at war in the way that we are. They can say, oh, we're scared of the terrorist attacks and all this shit as they're blowing up children's schools and stuff, which almost like begging for terrorist attacks, it seems. When you triple tap a children's elementary school in Iran, that's the type of thing that radicalizes people. I know if somebody did that here, we would be radicalized, but anyway.
And they think, this is Allah that's opening the door for us to, have politicians like Mandami in positions in America. They think
Mom banana me, damn JB.
It's just prophecy being fulfilled. But check this out.
It's about Sharia law. We should be afraid of it for some reason. And, you have people saying I'm a secret Muslim. I'm not, obviously. But, any country where people bow 5 times a day to God, that's a country I'd want to live in.
Really? You would?
I'd want to be in that country.
Living under Sharia law?
We should all be doing that. We should all be bowing 5 times a day to God. Hello? Any country where people who leave the
what is the wig does not go, man. Like, that's definitely a wig. And it almost seems like your just normal hairdo, whatever is going on under there, would be more Tucker Carlson-ish than whatever the hell this wig is, dude, because it threw me off. It took me like a good 45 to 50 seconds to figure out he's even doing a Tucker Carlson impression, because the wig is just so antithetical to that being his goal.
Religion are considered apostates and are killed, face the death penalty. That's a country I'd want to be in.
Really?
That's a country I'd want to live in.
Why?
Sure, because it's full of religious people, and that's a good.
His voice is a pretty good. Like he's doing the thing. Well, I mean, that's actually good. You know, his inflection points are on point. I think I said that wrong.
Well, I mean,
it worked out. It's fine.
it depends on
Any country that throws acid on women's faces or has honor killings if a woman gets raped, where you killed a woman. I mean, that's a country I'd want to be a part of. That's a country I want to live in.
Whoa, why?
Because honor is important. We don't have honor here. It's gone. It's basically gone. It's like, east to west, in all these various Western countries, there's no honor. There's no pride. They're desolate.
In the West?
Anyone who gets attacked violently for drawing a cartoon or a picture, that's a country I'd want to live in.
A place where cartoonists get attacked?
Well, I hate cartoons. I hate them. I really
They are pretty bad, you know. And apart from Rick and Morty, that's about the only way. All the others, they can get people.
do hate them.
Cartoons? Why?
They're destroying our children.
Why?
Obviously. In any country or culture that punishes blasphemers.
Hey, and we got Deviant Outcast. What's going on? How you doing? Did I say hey to Tommy? Tommy, what's up, dude?
I'd want to be a part.
Sorry.
Attacked?
Well, I hate cartoons. I hate them. I really do. I hate them.
Cartoons? Why?
They're destroying our children. Obviously.
They're destroying
In any
our
country or culture that punishes blasphemers, I'd want to be a part of that. Any country that issues a fatwa against.
So you get the idea, right? He's making a skit, and
Yeah, but you haven't played the actual clip yet, dude. Like we haven't seen what Tucker Carlson actually said. You should probably start with that for some of us that have been kind of purposefully not watching news and stuff. That's me. That's my trying to point that means I'm talking about myself. Because it's infuriating, really. I gotta watch my blood pressure, and I feel like big news is just out to get my blood pressure. Period. That's like their whole job, it seems.
there's truth, obviously in that comedy of what he's saying, and it's almost like, bro, is this dude really saying this? Like, how's this real? Let me go forward a little bit for the sake of time, that I don't hold you guys here too long. Check this out.
Excuse me. Gotta go.
Just really want to hopefully live for and enjoy a life. I want to have a long, healthy life. Inshallah, I hope so.
What in the world? She just threw that in, and y'all don't think it's random? And then when the timing of this comes out, it's like
what? I didn't. Did I miss something?
So
Hold on.
Excuse me. Gotta go.
just really want to hopefully live for and enjoy a life. I want to have a long, healthy life. Inshallah, I hope so.
I want to have a long, healthy life, and then what? Inshallah, is that what the hell does that mean? I don't even know what that is.
what in the world?
I don't know.
She just threw that in, and y'all don't think it's random? And then when the timing of this comes out, it's like coordinated. Like, let's all work together. We've talked about orchestrated chaos and things like that before.
The orchestrated chaos. That's right. What, man? Like, how about what? Like, who orchestrated who to do what? Like, that's Anne Hathaway, but what to say what? Like, it sounded like she was saying something completely different. Like, we don't even know the context of anything she was talking about. But then, she did the Inshallah thing. Is that it? That was like the whoa, that was orchestrated. Somebody's paying her to just randomly throw in Inshallah. It almost sounds like like she was like doing a bet or something with her friend, where she just has to like stick like random words in the middle of, almost like that scene from what's the name? Or they got to say meow, the cops. What is it? Super Troopers. Where it was like, yeah, look here, meow. We're gonna say meow, and we're going up the street, and I'm about to write you a ticket, meow. And then there's like, are you saying meow? Is that like, that's how like fast it was when she like just kind of stuck it in there.
Oh, by the way, was it the Southern poverty law people? Apparently, and
Southern poverty law people. So it's, those people.
I'll do a video about this later. They've been paying the KKK and other people to like do hate crimes. It's crazy. It's in court right now, man. It is.
Are you what? The poverty law center has been paying the KKK to do hate crimes. They're like, otherwise, we're gonna go broke over here because our whole back is like identifying hate groups and like, drawing attention to hate crimes and stuff. When there's no hate crimes, we got nothing to do. So we're gonna need KKK. Check it out. Look, we're gonna pay you a lump sum of money if you could just go out there and just do some hate criming. Okay, yeah, just make it as brutal as possible, and then make sure that we get we got to get the main story though. Okay, we got to be the first to talk about it.
It is sick.
We get the exclusive.
What is going on? But even that little, she just threw that in there, and people don't out of like every religion. You got this white woman just randomly saying this, but then I think that this lady did a pretty good job here. I guess Anne has some kind of Muslim.
Hathaway's secretly a Muslim. Did you know she said inshallah yesterday in an interview?
I want to have a long, healthy life.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Okay. I don't even know what that means. See, these people know like Islam stuff better than I do.
Inshallah, I hope so.
Then, when asked about her religion,
Inshallah.
Anne says it's a work in progress. Also, her close friend and manager,
Oh, she's Australian. She did that little Australian thing that they do.
Maha Dakil, is a Muslim. And on top of all that, Anne is also a United Nations ambassador who publicly speaks and stands up for Muslims.
Dude, get your internet fixed, buddy. Okay, you are way too famous for your internet to be lagging like this. Okay,
Muslim rights all across the world. Honestly, it seems like the whole world is becoming Muslim at
This one right here.
you gotta be kidding me. Hold on. Just hold the goddamn phone for 1 second. Hold on. What is happening? All right, Anne Hathaway. Religion. Beliefs. Roman Catholic, but left the church partly due to its stance on her brother's homosexuality. Yeah, they tend to be kind of rough about that sort of thing. Sometimes it depends who the Pope is, to be totally honest, is how that really seems. She has explored various spiritual paths, including Episcopalianism. What that word spelled out is really long. That's actually a really big word. I wish I could show it to you right now. It's pretty big. And holds a personal, evolving, and non-denominational spiritual outlook rather than a strict religious affiliation. So I don't think she's Muslim. I don't. It sounds like maybe she might be like trying to be respectful to a friend of hers religious beliefs or whatever. But yeah, I don't think she's Muslim. It's so weird the way that these people needle at the dumbest shit and get really obsessive about it.
Now that is bonkers to me, right? So it seems like the whole world is becoming Muslim.
Dude, she said one thing, man. Like she's not like saying, and Islam is actually the best religion. I don't know if you guys know this, but Muslims are the coolest. They're just the coolest. So anyway, like she didn't say any of that. She said one word, inshallah. Like that's it. And you guys are like, oh my God, she's a Muslim. The whole world's turning Muslim because she said one goddamn word.
Which we've told you before, right? I don't know how many videos we've done on this. They believe that's what Allah wants them to do.
That's what Christians think God wants them to do too. How is this any different? Isn't it the same book too? I mean, like it's the same first 5 books or whatever of the Bible, right? Like they all have, it's an Abrahamic religion. Of course, their version is pretty different there, but it just I'm almost positive they're like looking at the exact same parts of the Bible, and you know, they're just getting mad that the Muslims are saying the same thing that their Bible says about their stuff. Spread the word. Like all evangelical religions want to evangelize. That's like part of their belief system, just like yours. But it's like for them, it's so scary. Like what? Because they're gonna beat you to the punch? Is that it? And so like it'll be slightly more authoritarian and harmful because honestly, the stuff that they're saying is so terrible about Islam sounds exactly like Christian nationalism to me.
And so when you see what is happening right now, and you're going to see the video of the Pope going to the mosque and everything like that, and you see what Tucker's doing, and you see what Candace is doing, I'm telling you, man, some people believe that with Islam, if you trace it back to Abraham and the two sons that he had, right, the one with Sarah, the one with Hagar, a lot of people believe the bloodline of Islam comes from the son he had with Hagar. And so some people believe that the Mahadid of
that's the Christian belief. So if you're not familiar with the story, so there's the Bible story. I want to say it was Abraham, right? And Abraham was old, and his wife, I think it was Sarah, was her name, right? Super like modern name to be so old, anyway. But like she couldn't have kids; she's really old. And you know, Abraham was promised by God that he was going to get a not just one kid, but he was going to have a long line, like a ton, just thousands of children, or thousands of children's children. Like other kids will then have more kids anyway. You know, Father Abraham had many sons. Remember that song? Many sons, yeah, Father Abraham. So, but he was like, you know, I can't have kids. What are you talking about? My wife's too old. And so he went and fucked the slave. She was a slave. I was going to say the servant, but she wasn't a servant. She was a slave, and had Ishmael, right, who is the firstborn, and that you know, they believe that Ishmael was the child or whatever that spawned the Islamic faith. So that's what he's talking about there. It's that story. And yeah, damn, what the hell was the kid's name? Isaac? Yeah, Ishmael and Isaac were the two kids, right? And I guess Isaac means laughter because she was like, "Oh, that's stupid! I can't have kids. You're crazy!" And she started laughing, and so that's why his name is that way. Anyway, oops. Oh, well. Here we go.
Islam, right there, you know, is our Antichrist. And
oh, it's thank you, Deviant Outcast. It's Arabic, meaning God willing. It's a thing Muslim said, or things Muslims say. Kind of like how Christians say Amen. It's both religious and cultural. And I think that's the problem too, that they don't seem to understand, because they don't seem to understand that distinction, or the fact that those things overlap quite a bit, right? So there is a distinction, right? But there also is a lot of overlap. So that's why a lot of times when you hear people being like so Islamophobic, you're like, that's racist, because it is. It's like that's part of it, because their culture, their race, and their religion are all sort of blended together. And so when you have people with so much derision when they talk about an aspect of their culture, it's racist, you know? Anyway.
Their prophet that they believe is going to come, Jesus, they believe is going to come and correct the Christians. Many believe that that's the false prophet. Is it possible that the Antichrist is going to come from Islam? Is it possible that the Antichrist army, right, when they're going to take over the world and all that kind of stuff, with what we see happening with Islam, that they are going in, and they usually just do it by force, right? We're going to convert you.
Yeah, just like Christians. You know, Christians did that too. Actually, both Muslims and Christians were trying to out that each other. You get what I'm saying? They're trying to force everybody to be their religion, one another. That's what was called the Crusades, right? That's what the Crusades were all about, trying to force everybody to be their religion to one another. Anyway, so yeah, that gets a lot of times people are like, oh, but the Crusades, but we were just doing what the Muslims were doing. It's like, does that make it better? Do you think that makes it better? They're like, we were just responding to Muslims, like trying to force everybody to be the religion. And so it was cool because, you know, it's like, dude, it's not better. It's not better. Like, they shouldn't have responded that way. That's weird, right? Like, you don't respond to somebody like forcing the religion down people's throat. Otherwise, they kill everybody. Go, hey, we need to do that. Actually, that would be way better. So as long as it's our religion, it's actually okay.
Or take you out. Now it's like, we're going to invade your country because all of you guys are being gay. You have the feminist stuff.
Got the feminist stuff over here. Just, well, you know, I don't like it. And she said, I think this lady is an Australian Muslim convert who lives in Turkey. Well, that's a lot of specificity to be just pulling out. But where did you get first of all, what lady? Is it Anne Hathaway? Is that who you're talking about? But how did you get where she lived? You even knew where she lived? Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot.
We're going to be fruitful and multiply. We're going to have babies. We're going to grow our religion that way. Okay. And then we're going to go vote our people in as mayors, as governors, as senators, as aldermen. And then you'll have a Dearborn, Michigan. Then you'll have us doing our prayer calls in Times Square.
Wait, isn't this what you guys are doing? See, this is what it's almost like they're mad at them for just doing the exact same bullshit that they've been doing this entire time. And it's like to such a lesser degree that it's unbelievable. You know, like Christians have been doing this bullshit for who the fuck knows how long. And they don't even recognize it when it happens because it's their religion. So when they go to the town hall and they open up the town hall with another Christian prayer, like they do every single time, and don't allow any other religions to be allowed to pray at the beginning or, you know, do an invocation or whatever the fuck. They don't even notice it, right? They're just like, yeah, whatever. This is the way things are done. But like when a Muslim does it, like, what the fuck? Oh my God, they're trying to take over the world. That's what they're doing. We need to shut this shit down. Sharia law. Sharia law. Like, it's ridiculous.
And playing our prayer calls in your neighborhood in the morning, little by little by little. Remember,
I know, see, it's annoying, right? So we should just keep religion out of government then, right? So we can agree on that then, right?
It's the small foxes. And you're sitting there like, oh, it's no big deal. And so let's look at these clips from Pat Dave. I thought this was great right here.
You can play this. Go ahead, Rob.
I am formally announcing my intention to cut off all trade and investment with Iran.
Our second goal is to prevent regimes that sponsor terror from threatening America or our friends and allies with weapons of mass destruction. Iran aggressively pursues these weapons and exports terror, while an unelected few repress the Iranian people's hope for freedom.
I strongly believe that our national security interest now depends upon preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
Well, I can say to you, Iran will never get a nuclear weapon on my watch.
They weren't going to get a nuclear weapon. They had already agreed to this, man. Like, and we had every reason to believe them too, until we started just, you know, I say we, until Trump's dumb fucking ass started just killing them all over the place. Literally, like, invited them to do like peace negotiations and then blew up the place, you know, like killed them, but because they basically told, hey, here's the place to go so we can negotiate, and then blew up that place, you know, that. And now now it's crazy. Oh, they're not meeting with them now. Now there's no negotiations happening. I wonder why. It's crazy. You know, it's almost as if you completely betrayed their fucking trust and they have no reason to believe you about anything anymore. But like, this just almost shows you for how long we have fucked with this country. We've literally done regime changes already in the past that were disastrous. It did not help anything. In fact, Iran used to be a much more progressive type place. But once we started fucking with them, doing our stupid regime change bullshit, acting like world police, you know, like that movie, then they got more radicalized, you know. And then, you know, they're all like, oh, they want death to America. They want them. oh, it's weird, that they want to F2 America. We've been literally like funding a fucking country that's just been bombing every goddamn Muslim country that they can possibly even aim at. And then we're going, why do they hate America so much? It's crazy. Are you fucking stupid? Look at the history. This is why. And it's like, they're perfectly legitimate if they don't like America. Holy shit. We've been fucking with these people for fucking ever.
Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
Until I guess they weren't, because then, oops, well, we're still at war because, we got to make sure they can't get that nuclear weapon that was totally obliterated. Oh, it's almost as if Trump's lying or something.
Yeah, so everybody talked about it. One guy is doing something about it.
I want the Iranians to know that if I'm the president, we will attack Iran. Whatever stage of development they might be in their nuclear weapons program in the next 10 years, during which they might foolishly consider launching an attack on Israel, we would be able to totally obliterate them.
Oh, obliterate. Oh, weird. What this obliterate word? Is that, did Trump like that she said, that sounded very smart. I'm going to start using that word. That's a word that I'm going to use, specifically as it applies to Iran.
That's a terrible thing to say. But those people who run Iran need to understand that, because that perhaps will deter them from doing something that would be reckless, foolish, and tragic.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands. Okay, this attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
So if you have proof that Iran is building a nuclear weapon, would you take military action?
I'm not going to talk about hypotheticals at this moment.
Do you think I'm hearing one voice in the second?
I'm not going to, I'm not going to do that. Let's just not. I don't, because then they'd be ready for it. Honestly, then they can prepare for it. Why are they so obsessed? Why do we get nuclear weapons? That's what I want to. That's what I want to ask these people. Like, oh, okay. And they're like, well, they can't be trusted to have nuclear weapons because they're all insane and being like ran by theocrat religious nutbags. And I'm like, so we got to give up our nuclear weapons, is what you're saying, right? That's are you describing us? Hold on, what country are you talking about right now? Because I'm getting kind of confused. It sounds like you're talking about the one that we live in, but it's so weird the way that the rules don't apply to us; they apply to everybody else, but not us. Even though we have a complete lunatic in charge of the big red button, as the lunatic calls it. But where's our regime change? Like if it's China gonna show up and be like, sorry, you guys are morally repugnant, and we gotta do some regime changes, and then they show up and kidnap him, and then immediately invite all of the oil and all the oil companies over, and they're like, okay, so now we're gonna sell all of America's stuff because we just took it over and everything. That's the rules, right? What? How do we get special rules that don't apply to us?
I want y'all to watch this because this is mind-blowing to me. Either this man is getting paid or something. Just watch it. I'm gonna let it ride, and we'll give some commentary at the end.
Saying this, I think Iran deserves to be annihilated. I think they're lunatics. I think they're evil. I do think we ought to assess what would happen to the price of energy were we to do that. I don't think that's a small factor. It could tank our economy.
America's supporting Israel because it's an ally.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like we're just going back in time to like right after 9/11 and shit, right? Doesn't that sound like that's about the time that he would have said something like that, Tucker Carlson? But it seems to like these people don't understand. Like they think that you have to think the same thing forever. As long as they've said one thing one time, that means they're just always thinking that for the rest of their lives. There's no such thing as like growth or changing your mind.
I don't even know what those words mean. I'm just saying
they're an ally, right? I mean, they both.
I don't know what that means to be an ally.
Qatar is like one of our closest allies in the world. The largest American air base in the Middle East is in Qatar. They're a close ally of ours.
I think U.S. aid, military aid to Israel, and the implied security guarantees, some explicit, but many implied security guarantees of the United States to Israel probably haven't helped Israel that much.
Because that's the other thing too. Like the countries have changed over time. Like the way, like what he's talking about there. These things are not always the same, and of course, the rhetoric changes based on whatever the goals are of the administration at that particular time. And so clearly Tucker Carlson was in line with the goals of the past right-wing authoritarian imperialistic goals, and so he was saying that stuff then. Now I don't know. I honestly don't know where Tucker Carlson is at on all this. Again, I kind of think he's just like, I don't know. I don't know if he's like grown or if he's actually being serious, or if he actually has somehow grown somewhat of a conscience, like a tiny piece of one at least, maybe just the tip. You got just the tip of a conscience, just growing a little chubby, but but a conscience chubby. Wow, how did I get over there? That's weird. Kevin, dig me out of this hole, please. I need to get out of here.
Long term, it's a rich country with a highly capable population. Like every other country, it's probably best if it makes its decisions based on what it can do by itself. That country couldn't exist not for a week without U.S. backing.
America's supporting Israel because it's an ally.
I don't even know what those words mean. I'm just saying.
They're an ally, right? I mean, they both.
I don't know what that means to be an ally. Qatar is like one of our closest allies in the world. The largest American air base in the Middle East is in Qatar. They're a close ally of ours. Let me get to the number.
I don't even know what. Oh, let's see. So that this is him contradicting himself. I don't even know what an ally is. I don't even know what that means. I think, again, I feel like there's not that. It's so weird that I'm sitting here defending fucking Tucker Carlson, but I do feel like they're taking it out of context, because like when he says shit like that, I don't even know what that means. There's usually some kind of like point that he's trying to make. And that's what, so basically they're like, you do know what it means because look, you used this word elsewhere. So he's lying because he said he doesn't know what that word means, and now he's using it in other places. He clearly knew that word. Jeez.
The question, since again, a lot is at stake, a lot of money is at stake. Land is very valuable. Israel has a lot of resources. We have a huge country. This is a country the size of New Jersey with no resources. I come to Israel.
I said, DB Outcast said, amen means may it be. I didn't know that. May it be. I guess that makes sense. I just thought it meant like, I agree what they said from me as well. That's what I thought it meant. But what is it? Or may God make it so. Huh. So yeah, that's why it said at the end of a prayer, more colloquially. Wow, dude. What is wrong with me today? It's just but it's used as I agree. Yeah, but that's a contamination. Interesting. I didn't see. That's what I thought it said. What I thought it meant was I agree. But you're saying may God will it be. Colloquially. Thank you. Thank you, Tommy. You really cleared things up for me. God damn it. What the fuck are you doing, man?
Infrastructure, we were flying in, and I said to my buddy, I was like, man, first of all, looks great. I love the agriculture in Israel because it's beautiful. I love green. I love plants.
I remember when it didn't look like that.
Yeah.
First time I came here 53 years ago.
It's great.
I love plants because plants are good. They're nice and green. And I like looking at colors like green. What does this even mean? What is even happening?
Israel, which is one of the single ugliest countries in the world.
That was my impression.
And first of all, looks great. I love the agriculture in Israel because it's beautiful. I love green. I love plants.
I remember when it didn't look like that.
Yeah.
First time I came here 53 years ago.
It's great. Israel, which is one of the single ugliest countries in the world. Nothing of beauty has been built there since 1948. Sorry, I've been everywhere in the country, and it's true. Hamas is...
Damn, dude does not like Israel all of a sudden. That's funny. How weird. Like, it's the ugliest country on earth. Nothing beautiful has been built there since World War II had just ended or whatever.
Group of jihadis. They're Islamic extremists, which they also claim constantly, which I don't know if that's true, by the way. It seems more like a political organization.
Race to my brother.
I know, right? Okay. Answer said plants are unique to Israel. That's right. The ones that are there are nowhere else. That's right. So all the surrounding country. It's funny too, because like I don't like desert. it's just not attractive. Like, I mean, there are some like, I'm trying to think of where it was. I think it was like Arizona that had some really like wild looking stuff, and it was like a lot of colors. Of course, all the colors were like orange and like other lesser kinds of orange and browns and stuff like that. And it looked interesting. It was pretty neat, but I would never say that it's like beautiful. People are like, oh, it's beautiful landscape. And I'm like, there's no life. It's just like death. Like everything is dead. There is not a single, you don't even have a cactus in some of those photos. And so, yeah, I don't think it looks attractive. Like, I don't think the desert does. And I bet you there's like an evolutionary, is that the right way to say that? There is probably something in our DNA that's like, that's ugly, don't go that way, because a lot of people died that way. You know what I mean? Those are the people that didn't have kids, or the people like, man, I really love orange colors and all these different kinds of shades of orange. I'm going to go that way. And then they don't have kids because they all die, you know? And so the people that ended up living and having kids that had kids that had kids that had kids enjoyed the color green and did not like the look of the desert. I totally forgot what I was making a point. I was leading up to something. Never mind. You know what? Forget it.
This week when you said that Hamas is more like a political organization than a terror group.
I didn't say that. An attack on Western civilization looks like this. It's tribalism. It's identity politics. It's DEI. It's whatever. It's Zionism. It's any belief system that begins with the understanding that one group is morally superior to other groups.
Well, just on principle, like every other group in the world has the right to its own homeland except white people? Like what?
We don't think in terms of groups as Christians or Westerners. We think in terms of the individual.
Oh my God. It is. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, it is really weird that he is completely just like flips the script in like the past, I don't know, year, 2 years, couple of years. It's just wild because these are what sound to me like leftist arguments, you know? Well, they're like, what? Hey, why is it that Israel gets to do all this stuff to other countries? But if other countries did anything even remotely similar to what Israel is doing to like the United States, we would call them a terrorist country that is illegally and offensively attacking the U.S. unprovoked. Like, that's what we would say. But for some reason, when Israel does it, we're all just like, yeah, you know, they probably deserved it. They were probably thinking about making a bomb at some point, maybe, that we've all just collectively decided that they can never consider making, even though Israel, for some reason, is allowed to have them, and so is the U.S., even though we're illegally and offensively attacking countries for no goddamn fucking reason. But we're allowed to have the big nuclear bomb. Nothing makes sense, dude. Like, when something is the way that it is, it's supposed to be that way universally. Like, what is it where there's like, oh no, certain people get certain rules that nobody else has to live in accordance with? Like, isn't that the whole point of like the categorical imperative and shit? Like, the whole thing is to like, if you do a behavior, like, think about that behavior being done universally, and then go, would the world be better or would it be worse for everybody? You know, it's a categorical imperative or whatever. And it's actually a really good way to determine more objectively, I would say, if something is moral. But this is like the type of shit that doesn't make sense, you know, when you look at this. And it's like so much of like the United States exceptionalism and shit like that, and just power in general. Like, the whole idea of power has this like notion that like they get to treat people in ways that nobody else gets to treat people. And it almost seems like that's what wealthy people are doing. They always want to get to a particular place as far as power and wealth and stuff goes, where they can treat people like shit and nobody can do anything about it. And they'll just keep being like nice and, you know, and kissing your ass, even though you're literally being cruel and shitty to them over and over and over and over and over again. But hey, You're a rich person, so you're allowed to do that. And that's what we're all supposed to be fucking aspiring to be like. The rich person that can have their own special version of morality where they get to treat everybody like shit and they continue to kiss their ass because they're just sucking the teat of power. Anyway.
It's literally that simple.
But as long as some groups have a right to self-determination, then every group has a right. It's that simple.
Let's go hire 3.
Y'all,
hey, Deep State's still here. What's going on? What's up?
y'all don't think, come on now. I wanted to show plenty of clips. Y'all don't think that's all.
You watched like a smash cut, dude, that somebody else put together.
Odd? That is strange to me. And it's like just the way these people are flipping. Like a completely different person. I understand people can grow and they can evolve, but I believe that a lot of this stuff is spiritual and it's coordinated. And I just don't think,
it's coordinated.
Some people say it's a great awakening. I would say it's a great deception.
Of course,
because the reality is Islam, if you look at their beliefs, you look at what they believe, you look at what they've done for years, you look at how Christians are being persecuted, you look at how these people ignore it, okay? It's like almost, I feel like they're setting us up to fall. It's like they're trying to rock people to sleep and they're saying, look over here while the devil comes in the back door. They say, hey, look, focus on Israel.
Ooh, I love it. When I do some backdoor deviling, if you know what I mean. It's nice, but you gotta get some loot. Not spit doesn't, it's not enough. Okay. You gotta go get some good loot. In fact, go to adamandeve.com. Oh yeah, that's right. We don't do that. God damn it. But you should just get some lube at your convenience store or something, because you don't want to. It can get painful. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
focus on the Jews, and Islam is really a problem. And they're taking over in the UK. They're taking over in a lot of other places.
Hey, Giselle, how you doing? What's up? Yep, you're late. It's all right. It's okay. I'm going to start doing them earlier. Like, that's what I was putting in the poll there. How are we doing on the poll? Where's everybody at on it? Oh, everybody's cool with it? 100% said yes. Wow. Okay. Because I was asking, are y'all in favor of a Sunday morning live stream? Because holy shit, it is really, I used to work in the evenings and I would do the show before I went into work. And I thought, because I used to do like much more difficult work physically, that it was going to be, not that big of a deal now that I'm not doing as much work physically, that I can come home and still do the show after the show. No, all that decision making and shit, like, and a lot of the decisions are like, carry a lot of weight. They're like, high impact decisions. So they take a lot of mental energy. And so when I come home after work, it's like I'm spent, I'm just spent. And it's really weird. I've never really experienced this. I've always just experienced physical tired after work. And now it's like, oh my God, it's weird. So I'm like, I got to stop doing the live streams after work. That's what I got to do. I got to figure out a way to do them in the morning before I do stuff. So Sunday mornings is it, because I can't do it on Saturday because I don't want to I don't want to step on any toes. And Bree Hivesai, she does hers on Saturday mornings. So want to make sure plus go subscribe to Bree. Okay, if you're not, you should do that, because she's awesome and her show's really great. And it's a lot of fun hanging out in the chat and shit. But yeah, Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. I think that's what we're doing. We'll see. I might even go earlier. I might even go like 9:30, but I don't know. I'm still deciding. So, but yeah.
And it's like, even when you see, I saw a video, I think it was of, what is his name? Gaddafi. Remember what happened to him? I saw a video like the last moments before he was killed.
Yeah, see, John gets it. So I feel you, Bradley. I've been struggling after work. It's tough. It's tough. You know what I read? That like every time you make decisions, this is why it's like so important to try to make habits, right? Because it switches from the part of your brain that makes decisions to automatic. So once you get it, if you can get like your decisions to just be like habit right? You just set yourself up to like have like healthy habits, or just doing things habitually, as just doing things the same way every day, so that your brain just automatically does it and it doesn't expel as much energy. And so you're not thinking about, then you are a better, you're more capable of like doing the stuff you want to do after work and shit like that. But you have to make sure that you're doing everything kind of automatically. I don't even know if I could actually do that at work, because it's so inconsistent. It's like, and I think that's also part of it, is that like this job is so inconsistent compared to my last one that was just literally the same thing every day, but anyway.
And I was just reading the comments, and it's like people have gotten to the place now where they can't even, like, everything is Jews. That's where they're at, right? It's like no, Muslims aren't really killing Christians. That's the Jews. People
what? That's the Jews are actually killing Christians? Well, they did kill Jesus. I think I heard that. I remember my family would always say that, well, the Jews did kill Jesus, So that's you seen that movie, The Passion of the Christ? Yeah. Those anti-Semitic depictions of the Jewish people. They're like, but that's just what the Bible says. So it's not actually anti-Semitic at all.
Being LGBTQ in America, it's the Jews putting some.
It's the Jews. It's the Jews.
Thing in the food. It's the Jews, and it's just like, man,
putting things in the food. What the fuck? But see, it is weird though, and I will say, you can see. I'm not saying like I think any of the conspiracies are true or whatever, but like it is really weird the way that like in the media and stuff, you criticize Israel and all that, like you will get knocked down. Like they will get you in trouble and everything. And they do block like narratives and stuff. They will try to keep people from being able to see the atrocities that are going on in Palestine in a way that's really strange. I mean, they bought TikTok and shit, or like they did something with TikTok to try to like curb that, because there were so many people that were like filming the shit that they were doing, and the algorithm was still pushing it out, and so they had to do something about that. But yeah, it's weird. There's like something strange going on there. I will say it's just a lot of money. Honestly, that's really what it is. There's just very wealthy interests in protecting Israel and protecting their ability to create greater Israel. And it's not just the Jews, it's Christians. They're the ones that believe that Jews are like God's chosen people, and they really want the end times to happen. So like, and they're also the most privileged group of religious people on earth. And so they put all that wealth and everything towards that goal. And so this is what you get.
I feel like, okay, even if there was some truth to some of the things that they're saying in some instances, I feel like the obsession is just a setup for a distraction to what the real problem is. And a lot of people, they're not focused on the real threat, the real enemy. That's what I feel in my spirit. You don't have to agree, but it just feels off. And you know that Candace,
all right, we're not going off into Candace. All right, I know we've watched plenty of this. I'm kind of getting bored. I'm gonna be honest here. Love his style choice, though. See, look at this. Do you have a black cowboy hat? Because I think I could pull it off. Okay, t-shirt, cowboy hat. That's the look I'm really going for here. Just want to have like a horse in the background. Probably has those jingly things. Those jingly ninja stars on a wheel type thing. What do you call the thing that the wheel sits in? Anyway, but he's probably got those on his heels. What the fuck are those? You know what I'm talking about? Because it's like a little ninja star. It's on your heel, and it makes noises. Ching, ching. They're really loud when they're walking around and stuff. You definitely couldn't sneak up on anybody. That's for sure. And did they do a lot of sneaking up on people in cowboy movies? No. That was the natives, right? They were the sneaky ones, right? The dumbass white cowboys are just like clinking and clacking and clinking. Arrow, dead. Well, you're announcing every fucking step, dipshit. What the hell do you think is going to happen? My goodness, just like when they were fighting wars back then, and they would just show up in rows. They just like show up brightly colored dress in rows with guns. And the natives are like, you guys fucking stupid or something? This is really how you guys fight? Wow, this is stupid. This is almost like you just have humans expendable. Like you're just trying to get rid of humans. Do you have too many humans in your place? Is that what the problem is? So you're just like, oh, we'll just fight this way. And that way we can take care of that too many humans problem that we got. Jesus. Toxic femininity. Okay. Oh, it's that guy. Oh, God, that guy's the worst. He's like the armored skeptic, but he's a like a Timu armored skeptic. Unless it's not the actual armored skeptic. It's so hard to tell because they're so similar. They even use like the same kind of spurs. Thank you. That's spurs. Not the bone kind. Those, different spurs. Just as annoying from what I understand, but different. Whoa, look at him singing. Ah, see him look here. Ah, and anyway. Jesus versus Nietzsche. Okay, somebody needs to do something about this AI shit because it's gotten out of hand, beyond out of hand. Oh my God, the cartoon's coming and sitting down. That is creepy. Oh no, we gotta watch this for a second. What the fuck? It's so strange.
When someone wrongs you, should you hit back or turn the other cheek?
Turn the other cheek. Did you read this in the Gospel of Cowards? When someone wrongs you, you offer them more flesh to strike. That isn't virtue. It's hatred turned inward. Your forgiveness becomes resentment that learned to whisper.
Okay, are you talking to us or to Jesus, man? Because you're fucking the camera right now, buddy, and it's making me uncomfortable, okay? Can you look at the guy you're actually talking to? Because this ain't it.
It's the weapon of the impotent.
There you go.
The cunning.
Thank you. So what, he was just jimming the camera for that? He was like, wasn't that an awesome thing I said, right? Right, crowd? Right, audience out there? Right?
Of those too afraid to strike back
No, say it
openly.
again.
When wronged, the noble soul does not grovel. He does not offer his neck like a lamb for further slaughter.
He just keeps looking at. I can't even focus on what he's saying because the eyes are fucking with me.
No, he answers. Revenge, yes, I said it, can be the clean expression of...
Yeah, I said it. That's Nietzsche. But I said it. Okay, I'm a philosopher. We say stuff that we're not supposed to.
a healthy will. To forgive out of fear is cowardice. Answer, son of man, if your meekness allows.
You speak of cowardice, Friedrich, but have you considered the seed sown in fertile soil? It does not rise up against the rain that beats it down, nor the sun that scorches it. It yields, and in yielding, it grows into a tree that gives shade to all. You say my teaching is hatred turned inward, but when I said turn the other cheek, I did not mean become a doormat. I meant refuse to let hate write your story. Revenge chains the heart. Two wolves tearing at each other until nothing is left. Forgiveness breaks the chain. It frees the wronged from obsession, and it confronts the wrongdoer without becoming him.
It almost sounds more like a Buddhist type of, like they're making Jesus sound Buddhist here. I don't know, honestly, what the bless those that curse you, whatever, like pray for, love your enemies type of thing. Like, I'm not really sure. It seems to me like it's just supposed to be this thing that you feel shame for if you don't do it, right? That tends to be the most of what Christianity is, because the whole basis of it is just to get you to feel like shit for doing things that you naturally do. But They want you to feel badly about it so that you can then run back to church and go, Jesus, forgive me for not doing the thing that I can't help doing, because it's just a normal thing to be mad at people that are mean to you and curse them in your mind and everything. But same thing with just looking. He also said that looking with lust is the same thing as cheating on your wife. It's like, why? Why is it the same thing as cheating on your wife? It doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. Like, the whole point of like adultery, the whole reason that it's bad is because you betrayed someone's trust. You have somebody that you love very much, and it's also somebody that you love like crazy. That's also the other part of it, is that this is a person that you have dedicated yourself to. You love them more than like any other person, other than the kids, I guess, if you have those things. But and then you betray their trust by going and having sex with somebody else behind their back, because it's not adult. Like if they both agreed that like they could have an open relationship, even if they are married, then it's not really adultery if they go sleep with other people because she's cool with it or he's cool with it, right? Depending upon which direction we're going here. But that, like, the whole point of adultery being bad is the betrayal. So saying that it's, looking with lust is adultery at heart or whatever, just like what Ray Comfort says all the time, just doesn't even make sense in any kind of like moral framework at all.
You misunderstand your own metaphor, Nazarene. Your seed doesn't choose to yield. It's crushed. It rots. It dies, just to sprout. A seed that only bends to storms grows into grass. Do you think the oak grows tall by being polite to the wind? It grows through appropriation. It drives its roots into the darker...
Okay, anyway, enough of that. I just wanted to watch a second of it because I'm just like, what the fuck? Speaking of which, the Mormon deception that fooled. I wonder. Hold on, let me see real quick. I'm kind of curious if he said anything about the Jesus posts. You know what I'm talking about? How Christians can have discernment on social media. Jesus, most shocking sermon. Oh no, these are like a month ago. Where's like the most recent? What Christians need to know about Islam. Oh my God. So he completely ignored it. How did Ray Comfort ignore? Oh, that's right. We did talk about this. It was like so fast. So did we talk about this?
Tonight, President Trump is defending his social...
There it is. Yeah. Okay. I forgot. He didn't.
media post of this AI-generated image that depicts him as Jesus Christ.
I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor.
Do you think Donald Trump's a genuine Christian?
Did we watch this together? I can't remember if this was a good one, Tommy. That's awesome. It's like you have it next to your name and you posted it as an emoji. But yeah, I can't remember if we like covered this like in a live stream or if this was something that was working on as far as a pre-recorded video. But yeah, it's like he definitely didn't make a big deal about it like I thought he would.
No, he's not.
As president, he should set an example.
His actions don't align with the Bible.
This Holy Week, I'm proud to join with Christians across the country and around the world to celebrate the most glorious miracle in all of time.
I forgot about that song. They're called Spurs because of that song. I've got spurs that jingle jangle, jingle jangle spurs. I don't think that's like why they named them that though. You don't think they were already named that when they made that song? No.
And yet 2 days later, he said Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There'll be nothing like it. Open the straight, you crazy, or you'll be living in. And then he says, praise be to Allah.
Oh my God, that's the real crime right there. How dare you? F words and everything like that's pretty bad. Pretending to be Jesus, even though he clearly thought he was a doctor. Because like that's the other thing. Like Trump, Ray Comfort is so stupid. He's literally just believing what Trump says automatically. You know, it's like, well, he thought that he was a doctor. Yeah, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. Say, yeah, there was an accident.
Why don't you think he's a Christian?
Well, the one thing I always think about is like the love thy neighbor thing, and he really doesn't do that.
Yeah, he bombs his neighbors. Anyway, yeah, I feel like we already did this, but okay. So I think we need to look at what we need to know about Islam.
James White is sitting here. We want to talk to you today about Islam. I've been wanting to do a podcast episode on Islam. We've done a couple hundred podcasts.
Like, everybody's obsessed with this right now. It's just like they're obsessed with Muslims at the moment. Wonder why that is, you know? Kind of weird.
This episode is not one on Islam yet. And
really,
yeah, for good reason. We want to be with the expert. There was a time when Islam seemed to be front and center.
Right.
It was on everyone's minds, right? 9/11 hits. And then,
yeah, it's almost you don't think it was right after the 9/11 hits, which is a weird way to, I don't like the phrasing on that, that's for sure.
and after that, a whole string of terroristic attacks in different ways. Do you feel like Islam's kind of gone under the radar again, like out of sight, out of mind?
in a sense, and I think that's probably purposeful, to be honest with you.
I think they like it, right? I mean,
well, they is not a unified singular body.
Yeah, exactly. Andrew said he definitely does align with the Bible when it comes to the Antichrist. Well, I mean, if you think about it, look, the Antichrist in the Bible was, what's his name? Caesar. It was Caesar, right? One of the Caesar. Of course, now I can't think of which one. Nero, right? Anyway, but it was Caesar, and so it was a leader of Rome, and it makes perfect sense that, like, when the Bible describes, you know, this pompous, like, power-hungry nut job, that yeah, he aligns with Trump because that's exactly what Trump is, and also somebody trying to conquer the planet, which, according to, you know, the guy was in prison, first of all, but to the best of his knowledge, he didn't know that he would ever stop, you know, Caesar would ever stop conquering the world. And he was just kind of like playing it out, as far as I understand, to its logical conclusion that he eventually would conquer the entire planet. But yeah, he definitely does. Trump definitely does act like him. And it's just like greed and hate and all that kind of stuff that power hungry, crazy people behave like. But so yeah, he doesn't have to bleep them out so obnoxiously. He could just mute the words. No, he needs you to have a visceral reaction when he does the bleeping. Okay, he needs the bleep to be more aggressively upsetting than the words could ever even dream of being.
When you think about it, most of the time when you hear about Muslims, it's because of Muslim on Muslim violence.
Yeah.
So you've got
that. What? Really? Is this the direction? Well, what about Muslim on Muslim violence? Huh? Why don't we ever talk about that? It's really strange that they have the same arguments. They just tend to rehash over and over again.
the Sunnis and the Shiites, and they're blowing each other up, and they still do that. The news just doesn't report on it.
So James, if you were doing a debate and
he's like that's the context in which we usually think about Muslims, but the news never reports on it. Okay, so then did you just contradict yourself? Because you just said that was the way that we normally interact with Muslims as a as a demographic, yet you're also saying that the news never reports on that. How do you do this, man? What are you talking about?
And let's say the crowd was 50-50 with some Muslims there. How strong is the polemic on the Islamic side compared to the Christians that are present? How can they defend their faith?
Can we not use the word polemic like that? What is this like re-emerging of the word polemic being used in exactly exactly the worst way you could use it? Like that polemic is like looking at historical documents and whatnot, when it was like basically like old-timey propaganda, right? It's like old-timey propaganda saying they don't like some group of people or whatever back when we're looking at a scripture or something, and you see the way that they are characterizing some other culture or whatever, like, and it's in a negative light and stuff. That would be a polemic. But it's like they're talking about it in like modern terms in this strange way. I don't know.
I mean, are we as able and capable and as studied as the Muslim side?
The Muslims that would come to debate are probably much more familiar with how to do dawah. They have their arguments. The Christians that come are more interested in what this is going to sound like and things like that. So it sort of depends. Your average Muslim knows no more about the Bible than your average Christian knows about the Quran.
Really?
Oh yeah. And in fact, I would say a higher percentage of Christians have read the Bible than Muslims have read the Quran. Vast majority of Muslims.
Wow, dude. This dude just feels like opposite day. Like everything he says is like the opposite of reality. Like Christians read the Bible. Get out of here. No, Christians rarely read the Bible.
Their knowledge of their faith comes from what they hear during the Friday sermons in the mosque, and it doesn't come. You must understand the Quran does not.
This is so much projection. It's unbelievable. Like he's just describing Christians. Like most of what Christians take away. It's like most of what Christians think about their religion is because of the preaching, not the scriptures.
Function in the same way in Islamic experience as the Bible does with us. It's almost more of a superstitious text. It's almost more how you treat the book. Let me give you an example.
Like, yeah, Christians are never superstitious, man. They are just, they're non-stitious. They're unstitious, as it were, if you will.
2007, shortly after you saw me debate Shabir Ali,
yeah,
I was flown into the CBN headquarters and secretly, because I recorded a bunch of television stuff to be beamed secretly by satellite into Iran. So at first we tried to do live translation into Farsi. That didn't work. So we just recorded.
What? We needed it beamed. Why use the word beamed? That's so strange. But we wanted it beamed secretly into Islamic countries so that they'll just. It's on every channel. What's going on here? I don't. Okay, Kevin? What are you doing with the TV? What? He's always messing with something. Now this weird stuff's on every channel. Like it's a movie and the terrorist is telling us what's going to happen next.
Television stuff to be beamed secretly by satellite into Iran. So
beamed secretly by satellite into Iran.
First, we tried to do live translation into Farsi. That didn't work. So we just recorded and then did the translation later on.
Yeah, you can't do your sermons on Fridays. How dare you? Friday? What do you? That's party day. Okay, that's the day that we think it's not TA. What is it? Yeah, TGIF. Yeah, it's not TAIF. That would sound crazy. Okay, you don't think Allah that it's Friday? No, that's our party day or our great sitcom day.
Did a study, and most of the people that were recording it secretly were former Muslims. And so I did a study on Surah 112. It's called Surah Al-Ikhlas. It's key to Muslim theology, especially in regards to Christianity.
You did a study. What do you mean? A study.
The third ayah verse of it says, "Lem yalam yud." He is neither begotten nor does he beget. And so most Muslims understand that as a denial of the Christian doctrine of Jesus as the Son of God, things like that.
Yeah,
wow.
It's as close.
You can't be begotten stuff, because I think a big part of their interpretation of God, which honestly makes more sense to me, to be honest, is that you can't, like, God can't have something that is co-equal with God. If God is God, you can only have the one God, right? And that is the most powerful creature in reality, period, right? So if God begets himself, but like as a child, and then also manages to produce this spirit thing that is also there, and they're all kind of co-equal, and they're all sort of like, you know, it doesn't make sense because it doesn't make sense, not because like, you know, like Muslims are crazy or something. It's because of that concept that we just, you know, a lot of Christians act like it's just so normal. It's nonsensical as fuck. The Trinity is the most like delusional nonsense ever.
Closest you're going to get to a creed in the Quran that can be memorized and things like that. So I walked all the way through that surah and I exegeted the text, even in Arabic.
You exegeted it, bro. You know what that means, right? That means you come in the butt. You know, you G in the exit. Okay. So it's, you know, it's kind of a clever way of saying butt sex. And we're demonetized. That was it. Okay.
When I got done, the Muslim people that were recording, the former Muslim people that were recording it and stuff like that, came up and said, you need to understand, that never happens in the mosque. Vast majority of what you're going to hear, what they're going to be hearing. And in fact, here you want.
Wait, you mean cheated doesn't mean that? Well, what does jeet mean then? I thought that. Okay, I guess I can't keep up with the language of the youngsters, right? What do they call it? The cool people words. That's not how to say it either.
You want witnessing stuff? Okay, here, let me give you
give it, brother.
Every single time I took an
give it, brother.
Uber or a cab in the
I was going to make another gay sex joke, but I won't do that.
United Kingdom, my driver was a Muslim every single time. You want to know how to open that door?
Yes.
Real simple. What they hear in the sermons from their imams is not exegesis of the Quran. It is the repetition of stories from the hadith. The hadith are the stories and sayings of Muhammad and his companions that were collected hundreds of years after Muhammad, but the Sunni have certain collections that are considered sahih, that is sound. That's the matrix out of which Islamic law comes and how the Quran is interpreted. Because the Quran does not make sense in and of itself. The Quran assumes you know the Bible. The Quran
almost like the Bible, huh? You know, it's almost like, because it's funny the way that it's so weird when like you have religious people that believe their religion in a particular way, and then they talk about a different religion as if it's so wacky and weird, and they just describe the things that they do all the time. The Bible, if you start the Bible and read straight through, if you just start in Genesis and go all the way to Revelation, right? The shit ain't gonna make sense. You're not gonna walk away going, boy, I totally understand Christianity now. Like it doesn't work that way. You have to have some kind of interpretation. You have to have somebody like kind of directing you. That's why all those dumbass study Bibles, well, it's why there's dumbass study Bibles, right? Because they have to have okay, you're gonna walk through this, and then they'll like, you know, make some kind of point and then be like, now read this verse that's all the way on the other side of the book, and then jump back to this verse over there because they're all connected, you know, and they got you just going all over the place so that they can make some kind of coherent sounding point that, you know, out of like what their doctrine's supposed to be or whatever. But it's just like, this is just what religions do. This is how they function. They have some kind of religious text, some type of holy text, and then they just interpret it to goddamn death, and then all start yelling and disagree about the interpretation, and they all split off because there's no possible way to be able to demonstrate that anybody's more correct than anybody else. So they just split. And then you got a bunch of different divisions. Islam is exactly the same way. They act like there's only one kind of Islam, which is so crazy. There's like tons of interpretations. There's tons of different applications of that belief system. You have like very progressive Muslims that obviously don't believe in all the Sharia law type shit. Like, it's crazy that they can't get that. I mean, when they're talking about Mamdani, like he like quotes Tupac and shit, man. I don't think that he is a fundamentalist Muslim.
Provides no meaningful context. There has to be a lens through which
slang. Thank you. That was the word. That was the word I was looking for. Slang.
You look at it, and what the Muslims do is they look at it through the hadith. Those are the stories that Muslims hear all the time. I've read
damn kids.
Read all of Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. That's 7 volumes and 6 volumes, respectively, of the hadith. I did them while writing.
The guy just laughed because he said he wasn't saying a joke or anything, but he's you said funny sounding words because your Muslim sounded. Oh, they sound funny. Listen.
Hadith. Those are the stories that Muslims hear all the time. I've read all of Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. That's 7 volumes and 6 volumes, respectively.
Oh, he said funny words.
Of the hadith. I did them while riding bike. Back when I could still do that, listening to them over and over and over and over again. What I would do is once I realized my driver was a Muslim, I would say, do you remember the hadith? You had the man who killed 99 people. Now, this is what's called a mutawatir hadith. That means it's universally accepted.
What's up, dude? How we doing? Maharaj. What's going on, dude? So when Jesus was butchered and after his resurrection, when Jesus was butchered and after his resurrection, why he ran away like cowards when Bible orders others to kill infants. Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. There is a part in the Psalms that like says something about blessed is he who dashes the infants on the rocks, but I'm pretty sure that's some kind of like post-war poem of some sort. But yeah, I'm not. I feel like you need to clarify a little bit there. Okay.
Muhammad said that there was a mass murder. He had killed 99 people, and he goes to a scholar and he asks the scholar, "Will my repentance be accepted by Allah?" The scholar says no, so he kills him. So he goes to a priest and he says, "Will my repentance be accepted by Allah?" I don't know if the priest knew about the scholar, but he says, "Go to such and such a village, and they will instruct you as to how your repentance can be accepted by Allah." As he's going to the village, the time of his death comes. In Islamic theology, the day and moment of your death is written on your forehead 40 days after conception. Wow. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's when you're going to die. That's it. And so he drops dead in the middle of the road. In Islamic theology, an angel comes from paradise and an angel comes from hell to argue over the soul of this individual. Now, you would think this one would be a slam dunk. Okay? I mean, it's killed 100 people, but the angel from paradise...
I don't know. Did they deserve it? What were they wearing? Okay? I don't know. Maybe they deserved it. Okay? I don't know. Sin.
Paradise argues that he was going to find out about repentance. And so Allah decrees that if he's 1 cubit closer to the city he was going to than the city he was coming from, that he will go to paradise. And then
is this person just a troll? Is that what it is? Because you didn't clarify anything. Just repeated the same thing. Incorrect grammar and all. So I don't know what's going on.
Some versions of the story, Allah actually makes the earth shrink between the man and that city, so he's 1 cubit closer, and he goes to paradise. Think with me for a second. First of all, every Muslim knows the story. You have just demonstrated that you have enough respect for them to know something about their own faith, and they don't get that from Christians at almost any point at all.
Well, what's crazy here is, like, dude, you could have someone, I mean, like one of the phrases that Christians will repeat ad nauseum, ad infinitum is there's no magic number that is a number of sins that make it so that God can't forgive you. God can forgive any sin, big or small. There's nothing that somebody can't, other than, blaspheming the Holy Spirit, making fun of the spirit ghost. Now that Jesus cannot forgive that, but you can go butcher as many people as you want, as long as afterward you feel bad and you say, Jesus, I'm sorry, and I will not butcher any more people. I have now repented. I promise I won't do it anymore. And then they actually do. They stop doing the butchering. They will still go to heaven, even though they've butchered hundreds, maybe even 200-300 people. Doesn't matter. According to the Christian belief. But he's trying to recite this story or whatever about, like, from the perspective of a Muslim, and acting like it's completely evil and everything. And it's like, dude, you guys have like evil beliefs as well. If this is like, if you think killing that many people is bad, then you should think that God can't forgive somebody that does something like that. Yet they do believe that.
Okay, so what have you done? You've purchased yourself an ear. You've opened an ear up to hear what you have to say.
Love it.
Now think about that story, though. You have to think about it before you're talking to the Muslim in the cab. Okay. Don't just hope that the Spirit will show me. No.
Yeah, D-State said, I think it's the 134th Psalm, and it had to do with the people exiled in Babylon wanting revenge against the Babylonian captors. That's where it talks about dashing the little ones against the rocks. Yeah, see, I knew it, right? Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. I'd have to double check and everything, of course. But yeah, it's something to do with that. And of course, it's poetic and it's psalms. You know, they're like songs, literally. But yeah, but there is actual, like Drizzo was saying, there is genocide all through the Bible. So it's not much better. It's not much better. It's crazy. It's just like a tiny bit better. If we're comparing like holy books or whatever, and we're starting from the presupposition that like harming other people is bad or whatever, yeah, I would say it's slightly less evil or less harmful or whatever as that book. But you know, which is crazy that they act like theirs is so much more harmful and everything, mainly because they associate them with terrorism and stuff. But again, as long as I've been alive, the United States has been a majority Christian nation funding Israel and funding them attacking every surrounding Muslim nation, and so and doing it kind of just for years. I mean, and then we, of course, as the United States, I mean, join in and do regime changes and blow up all these countries and stuff. And so, yeah, like that's why we depict them that way in our minds, because that's sort of like the battle that's been going on for as long as I've existed, you know? So I don't know. It's just crazy that they just like paint them that way, even though according to pretty much anybody's definition of what a terrorist is, we and Israel are terrorists.
You have to think ahead of time and go, okay, this means that Allah will bring people into paradise with his law completely broken, 100 innocent people killed, no atonement has been made, but God's...
Oh, there you go. Oh, okay, you're right. So as long as an atonement is made, then you're good, right? So if they would have said they were sorry to Allah, you know, then it'd be cool, right? You can't say nothing about that. If they did say they were sorry to Allah, then you can't say anything about the 100 people that they killed, because your religion doesn't have any problem with that as long as you say you're sorry to the undead carpenter ghost.
Just simply going to close his eyes and forgive those sins on what basis?
Wow.
This person has preconceptions in their mind that are going to be in the way of your being able to present the gospel to them.
Right.
So they're going to hear everything you say, and they're going to reinterpret those words within the context of their own faith. So you're going to have to explain how Jesus can be the Son of God, and that doesn't mean that God has, kids and all the rest of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything that's logically coherent, but, you know, do your best to explain that thing that, as best I can tell, Christians don't even understand, really. They're just like, I actually don't know how it works. It's just sort of a God thing, and I don't question it.
And you're going to have to explain what substitutionary atonement is and why it's necessary and how it allows God's holiness to stay connected to his law. In Islamic theology, it's torn apart. And that's why I mentioned that debate earlier. That's what came up in that debate, was I kept pressing the fact that from the Islamic perspective, their entrance into paradise involves a fundamental denial of the holy nature of God.
Wow.
His law.
Wow. That's crazy. Wow, buddy. How did you even come up with that? What the hell does that even mean, man? Like, you're like, they're gonna have to have a rejection of a fundamental, what did he say? Oh no, of the nature of God.
Islamic perspective, their entrance into paradise involves a fundamental denial of the holy nature of God.
Wow.
Of the Christian, sorry, the wow just gets me. Of the Christian interpretation of that, dude. They have like a different understanding. And you're like, it's a denial of that, the holy nature of God. But it's like, no, they just have a different understanding of the holy nature of God.
His law has been rejected. So you've got to think these things through ahead of time. But you have purchased the opportunity to really think about it.
A lot of Muslims seem to have this impression that obviously the text of the Quran has been perfectly preserved. How do you counter that? What evidence do you give that that's not the case?
That's tough to do if you don't have the resources. I happen to own 2 museum quality reproductions of 2 of the earliest mushaf manuscripts of the Quran. They were $1,400 a piece.
Wow.
I might have one of like 3 or 4 in the United States, grand total. So I can open it up and show them. And so I can do presentations, digital presentations, where you can show pages that have been cut out and things that have been erased. And I can.
But Bart Ehrman does this for the Bible all the time. I mean, there's literally like an entire book that he has about the unreconcilable contradictions between the early manuscripts of the New Testament. So, but they think they've got it in back when it comes to like Christianity being true and Islam not. It's so funny when they debate with other people that, again, believe things that are just as silly and harmful as the stuff they believe, but they just think they're wrong about it.
Demonstrate the existence of those things, but the vast majority of people would not have access to that material. Oh. And so you just have to realize there are 3 major barriers to presenting the gospel to Muslims, and every Christian should understand.
What's up, Resist? How we doing? Resist OP impression. What's going on? Hello, Pip, Pip. Hello, Pip, Pip, and roll. That's right. Clock saying out. 2-0. Did I say it right? Is that what you were going for? And so, who are the apostates? Well, I am. Why, I am. Thank you very much.
Understand what they are.
Yeah.
One of those barriers is the fundamental belief on the part of the Muslim that the Bible has been corrupt.
Yeah.
Okay. What's interesting is that's only been a fairly universal Muslim perspective since 1864. There was a book published by a Muslim scholar in India where he drew from German liberal scholarship. It's Ul-Haq, the vindication of the truth. And it's just basically an attack on the Bible.
Smoking mercury? Smoking mercury is bad. But yes, correct translation. Oh, good. Okay, yeah. Was there something about smoking mercury in there that I missed? I feel like I misunderstood something. If that was the point that you were making, I lost it. I ate right over my head. Did not see anything about smoking mercury.
Similar to what you'd get from atheists and stuff like that, but it's being done by a Muslim. That book has had more impact on the worldwide Muslim population than any other book that's ever.
Yep. Yeah, I'm an atheist.
Up till that point in time, there was 2 streams. There were Muslims that believed that the Bible couldn't be changed. Because according to the Quran, the Torah and the Injil, the law and the Gospels, Old Testament, New Testament is what we would call it. The author of the Quran, I don't think knew the difference, to be perfectly honest with you. That they are natsal, they're sent down by Allah. For a lot of Muslims,
I don't think the authors of Christianity, I don't think the authors of the Bible understood the Old Testament and the New Testament, because that probably came later.
Down through history is like, well, the Quran's sent down by Allah, the Torah and the Injil are sent down.
Oh, don't cry. It's okay. It's all right. Some people just don't believe in magical, all-powerful beings nobody can demonstrate. You don't have to feel bad. It's okay. You can keep thinking the stuff you want to think. You just shouldn't. But it's okay. Don't cry.
By Allah. If you could change the actual wording of the Torah and Injil, why couldn't you change the actual wording of the Quran?
Exactly.
And so there were lots of scholars, stuff like that, that held the view that the only thing that had been corrupted had been the interpretation of those scriptures, not the form of those scriptures. And then you had people on the other side that believed that it could.
And Christianity suffers from both, unfortunately. But they had both. The scripture itself had been corrupted with, scribes adding in entire parts of the New Testament about like women at wells and stuff, and Jesus writing in the sand, and saying he without sin cast the first stone. And you can literally see from earlier manuscripts where that was added as a story that the scribe just popped in there because he was like, I think Jesus would do something kind of like this. And it just sort of kept going and nobody noticed. But then it also suffers from the interpretation problem. We have 45,000 different denominations, all interpreting the Bible in different ways.
Could be changed. Once It's Al Haq was published and got translated and went all around the world, now 99%.
Thanks, man. I care about you too. I do. I care about you too, brother. I mean, we're not brothers, but buddy, I care about you too, buddy.
Of your Muslims in the world take that perspective and believe that the Bible has been corrupted. The second barrier is called shirk. You need to understand this.
I need Jesus to have eternal life. Okay. I'm actually good. I'm good. I'd actually rather not live for eternity. That sounds terrible. I don't care how great the place is that we end up being for all eternity. I'm good. That sounds awful.
Shirk is the unforgivable sin in Islam. And what I mean by that is if you die as a mushrik, a person who has committed shirk, there can be no forgiveness. Remember the guy had killed 100 people. Allah forgave him because he hadn't committed shirk. So what shirk?
Yeah, and Jesus will forgive people if they kill 100 people too, dude. There's literally no sin too big or too small for Jesus to forgive. That's like a part of Christianity. Yet it effectively makes morality meaningless. Like everything like can be forgiven or whatever. And in fact, there are no good and bad people. There's just everybody's evil, and some people ask forgiveness for it, and that's it. That's all you got. You just got nothing but evil people, which kind of makes the whole conversation about what is right and what is wrong fucking meaningless.
Shirk is to associate anyone or anything with Allah. It's the closest thing that we would have in Christian terminology would be idolatry.
Yeah.
And so most Muslims believe that we are mushrikun because of our belief in Jesus, are associating a mere human with Allah in worship, and therefore we have committed the sin of shirk. Now, there's different kinds of shirk and things like that, but the Quran is very straightforward. If you die in that sin, there is no forgiveness for you. But they're also told that I
thought the whole thing with Islam, like, and I hate to say this, but it seems to make more sense because they have like the scales, right? Like they have like, if you do more good stuff than bad stuff, then you go to heaven. Let me double check this real quick. So I want to make sure I'm saying correct things. But I'm almost positive. I thought that they had, the Muslims have the scales. Like if you do like more good things than you do bad things, if you're more helpful than you are harmful, you go to heaven, which makes better sense than you could be Dahmer, like a serial killer Dahmer, and still go to heaven as long as you ask Jesus for forgiveness. That really doesn't make sense. And then you can be the best person that helps the needy and helps everybody that's in trouble all the time and everything, but just not be convinced that Christianity is true, and you go to hell for all eternity. But hold on. Islam based who goes to heaven? Wow, that was worded terribly. Yes, Islam teaches that a person's fate in the afterlife is determined by the weighing of the deeds, where good deeds are measured against bad deeds on the day of judgment. If good deeds outweigh bad deeds, the person enters paradise, while heavier bad deeds may lead to hell. That makes way more sense than just blanket forgiveness for no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter what you do or don't do, for that matter, as long as it hurts people. That you still go to heaven as long as you say the magic words and really mean it, and then dedicate your life to the carpenter dude. And it doesn't matter anymore. You're all forgiven. It makes so much sense though in a lot of ways, which is like a lot of the reason I think why people are so drawn to Christianity is because they feel guilt. People have guilt, they feel, and shame is a big thing as well. Like, you'll feel shameful for things, a lot of times it's shit from your childhood that just doesn't even matter anymore, that you just still feel guilty about or still feel badly, and you want some kind of deliverance from those negative feelings that you haven't processed from your childhood, and just other stuff as well. Especially if you have complex trauma or just trauma in general, then you have a harder time like rectifying your behavior. You kind of make a big deal out of every little thing. You're like, oh man, I should have said it the other way. Oh, now my boss is going to think I'm stupid. Does he hate me now? He probably hates me, man. It's because I said the wrong thing that way that one time, and now I can't even. And it's like you just do that in your head all the time, and but that kind of like mental shit gets taken care of if you go to church and you're like, Jesus, take the mental shit I got. And then it's like, oh, just give it up to Jesus. And it accomplishes that for them. But it's like, while also producing more of it, which is just terrible. Because like, if you think a lusty thought, then that's equal to adultery. So they're like actually creating more of those mental traps so that they can deliver you from them. It's just like a heroin addiction. It provides the bad feelings from withdrawal that it caused in the first place, but then it delivers you from those bad feelings that it caused.
We are asking them to do in bowing the knee to Jesus Christ is shirk.
Right.
So you can see how that's a massive barrier. How serious is shirk? Abu Talib was Muhammad's uncle, and he protected him.
What's up, cruise ship? How we doing? What's going on? Said as long as it's done in the name of Jesus. Jesus. Not how Seth Andrews says it. Jesus. He sounds it all weird. They don't need forgiveness, no matter how atrocious.
Him when he was a minority prophet in Mecca. When Abu Talib was dying, Muhammad.
And Mecca is kind of like the Mecca of Muslim theology. Like it is the Mecca. You know what I'm saying?
Muhammad comes and says, I'm a prophet, say the Shahada, become a Muslim. The rest of the family is saying, do not deny the ancestral gods. He dies as a mushrikun. He dies as a polytheist. Allah did not allow Muhammad to pray for his parents who died as idolaters. He did not allow him to pray for anyone else.
What? Allah?
The ancestral god. When Abu Talib was dying, Muhammad comes and says, I'm a prophet, say the Shahada, become a Muslim. The rest of the family is saying, do not deny the ancestral gods. He dies as a mushrikun. He dies as a polytheist. Allah did not allow Muhammad to pray for his parents who died as idolaters.
Allah did not allow Muhammad to pray for his parents. Whoa, that is just, man, that's terrible.
Did not allow him to pray for anyone else who dies an idolater except for Abu Talib. And as a result, Abu Talib has the best place in hell. Wow. Now, you immediately are going...
best place in hell. That's not good. That's still not good because, it's in hell. It's, oh, man, good one.
What exactly is the best place in hell?
I've been there.
It's outside of Idaho someplace. Yes.
It's the heat of Phoenix.
No, it's here in Florida. But, it just is all of Florida. But anyway.
Abu Talib Now, there's different versions of the story, but Abu Talib is either wearing
Mar-a-Lago. There we go. Mar-a-Lago is the best place in hell.
sandals that are on fire and are so hot that his brains boil, or he just stands in fire up to his ankles that boil his brains. That is the garden spot of hell.
The garden spot of hell.
That's the best
Dude,
place.
new rock band name called it.
So what's the point?
Yeah.
The point is if the prophet himself.
Guys, can you keep it down with your cheesy jokes? Okay, go do a show by yourself, all right, where you react to content so that you can just say all this dumb stuff and it doesn't interrupt the thing that I'm actually saying that's important.
Could pray for this man and he committed shirk, and that's the best he can hope for, then you better not commit shirk.
Wow.
And the Muslim is taught you are inviting them to commit shirk by believing in Jesus.
Yeah.
You have to be able to explain that Jesus Christ is not merely a man that we are associating with.
Yeah, dude. And dude, like all you're saying is like in Islam, they don't believe that other religious people or people of other religions go to heaven. They don't believe, like they think that being other religions keeps you out of their version of heaven. Whoa, big surprise. I never saw that coming. That's not something that almost like applies to every single religion other than like Buddhism or whatever the fuck. Or you, what is the other one? Unitarianism or something like that, where they're just like everybody goes to heaven.
God, he has eternally been God, and therefore to actually not give him worship would be actually to commit idolatry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So, but you've got to know your Trinity to be able to do that.
You
The
got
third
to know your Trinity, bro. Okay, you need to lock that shit away. All right.
barrier is from Surah 4, 157 in the Quran, which is just one verse, but it's one verse that says that Jesus was not crucified on the cross, that someone else was made to look like Jesus. Now, most Muslims,
What is the purpose of this? To be like Muslims are not Christian. Muslims think things that Christians don't think, you know, and vice versa. Like, what the fuck? What are you trying to? What is your point here, man? Like, we already knew all of this.
especially those who come from outside the United States, believe that that was Judas.
Yeah.
That was made to look like Jesus. But that Jesus was not crucified on the cross of Calvary. That's what they understand Surah 4, 1-7 to mean. There's a whole...
They're like, that is the worst possible thing you could think. Okay. Oh my God. You should basically just be set fire and go straight to hell for thinking that Jesus did not rise from that. I don't even like saying it. I feel gross. I need to take a shower after saying that. Oh my God.
History behind that. There's no hadith interpretation of it. It's really weird. But they believe it. Those are the three to remember. They're afraid of committing shirk. They don't believe Jesus Christ died upon the cross. And they believe that the Bible has been corrupted.
Wow.
You put all three of them together, and the person who is actually going to impact the Muslim obviously is not the person who's only going to have 5 minutes with them. What can you do if you have 5 minutes? If you try to do a normal gospel presentation against those three objections and not deal with them.
Hold on, what the fuck? Tim Punk was talking about good deeds versus bad deeds. Basically, what Anubis was doing when weighing one's heart against an ostrich feather. What is that? Where's that at? Hey Gretchen, what's going on? How you doing? It's good to see you. And then Deviant responded and said, oh, I see. Okay, there's the confusion. Anubis didn't weigh the heart. That's the work of Thoth. He weighs it and takes note of the result. Anubis / Inpua is sorry, it's hard to pronounce that word. Is the son of Nephthys. Got it. Nailed it. Self 5. Got it. Osiris, Nephthys, the wife of Set, also sister of both. Why the fuck do you know all this? This is stuff no person should know other than you know, Dr. Kip, because he's, you know, writes books about that subject. But Osiris and Set, he's the guardian and guide to the netherworld. He leads the deed. Wait, he leads the dead. He leads the dead through the halls of the netherworld. But he's not the one who presides over the weighing. What religion is this? Like, what are we talking? Oh, ancient Egyptian. Is that what we're talking about? Ancient Egyptian mythology? Holy shit. Okay. That makes because I'm an Egyptologist. Okay, well then that makes sense. But that's funny. I forgot about that too. That's right. I feel like you had mentioned that one time. I literally have a master's in Egyptology. Oh my God. Okay. Now, no wonder. Then that answers that. Like, what the? Why do you know all these names? And Osiris. That's right. I heard Osiris. Duh. I know that. I've read those children's books about the gods. Damn it. What were they called? The one, but it was like Greek gods, but then they go into Egyptian gods in the other books. The lightning thief. What the fuck is it? It's Percy Jackson. That's right. I've read Percy Jackson. So I know some stuff about things. Anyway, all right. So I think that video is done. But let's see if we got another short one we can go over. How long have we been going here? Almost 2 hours. Wow, that's crazy. And it's only 5. That's wild. It feels so weird doing this early. What is a carnal Christian? Really? I mean, what even is that? And could you be backsliding without something? Oh, it's another one. God, there are so many of these like Christian channels that are like 100% seemingly created by AI. And they just got, it's just like, these people are just pumping them out. And I think because there's been a bunch of videos that are like, you can make like $30,000 per video if you just make viral videos and put them out with AI. You don't even have to do anything. Someone yelled, Allahu Akbar, and Donald Trump got scared as fuck. Hold on.
Carrier, the president. I guess I have to do it myself. I know it's not.
Real.
Carrier, the president.
That's
I guess I
not
have to do
real.
it myself. I know it's not.
That's AI. Oh my God. AI.
Carrier,
Oh my
the
God.
president.
Come on. AI is going to be the death of us. What the hell even was that? Jesus Christ. Was it AI? Does anybody know? Isn't there Egyptian writings about a Virginia birth? There's a lot of Virginia births, by the way. A lot of kids born there. Dating up to 10,000 BC. No, that's too early for Virginia. The U.S. has only been, even though Virginia is like, you know, one of the oldest. God, it was one of the colonies, right? But it was one of the oldest colonies, but not that old. Okay, so get your facts straight. All right. Anyway, where are we at here? We got any short ones we can look at? Wow, that was just 44 minutes ago. An atheist came to my summit. It was that one guy that like he rates churches or something. Like he does videos, this guy. He does like videos and stuff of like, he just goes all around the country, goes to different churches, and then makes a video like right after he gets back from the service so that he can review the church or whatever.
.5 minutes long, but I haven't seen it yet, and his videos are always pretty funny. If you guys don't know who Jared Smith is, he is a ex-Christian turned atheist. Yeah, and we had Jared at our Blessed God Summit.
I meant virgin. Oh my God. You went on that whole thing. Clearly, I meant who puts birth after Virginia? Oh my God. Like, of course I meant. Yeah, I know I was messing with you, dude.
With myself, Dr. Sean McDowell, on how can we engage folks who have deconverted better as followers of Jesus. So anyway, I haven't seen any of this, going in blind. And last time he had a few critiques for us, which led to the conversation that we had at this year's Blessed God Summit. So I'm curious to see what those are. At least this year he actually attended some of the sessions. So let's check it out.
Was that kind of like a dig at him? At least this time he actually showed up instead of last time just talking shit. Didn't even go to any other things. I didn't even read the sign. Hold on. What did it say? Motherfuckers at what? Motherfuckers.
What those are. At least this year he actually attended some of the sessions. So let's check it out.
Oh, they don't bless God. Got it. Because his whole thing is bless God. See, do you see it? It's that lit up sign right there. It says bless God. Even though I didn't think that was something that humans are even capable of doing. Because it's God who does the blessing.
MFers who don't bless God. What in the world?
Oh,
what in the world?
All right.
This is gonna get demonetized, bro.
That was a bit much. That was crazy.
I gave my life to Jesus Christ at the Jake Sandvik concert. I'm not sure who is Jake Sandvik. I don't know what this is.
Dude, you're not getting the jokes, bro. Okay, this is a deep cut. If you're an atheist, you know who Jake. I actually don't know who he is. I don't know what any of that means.
You better be ready to bless God, motherfucker.
This intro's insane.
Yeah, that's it. I know. It's the atheists that are the hateful ones. That's what we do. We're the hateful ones. We don't. There's not like a saying or anything. It's like true atheist love is hate. Like that's a common turn of phrase that is known about atheists. There's no hate like atheist love. That's the saying, right? That's not. Well, what is this? I don't. Well, now I'm all confused.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another thrilling episode.
Yo, this intro is utterly insane. Wow. All right.
So, Atheist Church on it. My name's Jared. Blah blah blah.
This man called it an evangelical YouTube conference. Dang.
This week,
It is YouTube. Got it. Well, wasn't it on YouTube? Okay, whatever.
Went to the Blessed God Summit, year 2. For those who are unaware, uninformed, or unenlightened, the Blessed God Summit is a big evangelical conference thrown by Ruslan, the big evangelical YouTuber. And if you know me, you know that I'm not an evangelical. The shirt is a gag. It's a meme. So this is the second year that I went to the Blessed God Summit. Last year, Alex O'Connor was the shining star of the atheist community, and he was the esteemed atheist guest. And he invited me out there so that Alex O'Connor didn't feel like the lone atheist holding down the fort. So this year, I took.
Oh my God, there's that Nate guy behind him.
Last year, Alex O'Connor was the shining star of the atheist community, and he was the esteemed atheist guest. And he invited me.
There he is. Look, it's Wise Disciple. Is it Wise Disciple? Back there. He calls himself Wise Disciple. Why would you do that? Don't call yourself what? That's somebody else. It's like being cool. You can't say that you are cool. You know, other people have to say that about. It's like being an ally. Right? You don't say that you're an ally. I know people do that, but they're wrong. They shouldn't do that. That's not what they're supposed to do. Other people are supposed to say they're an ally. Anyway.
Out there so that Alex O'Connor didn't feel like the lone atheist holding down the fort. And so this year I took his mantle. I took the anointing of Alex O'Connor, and I persevered through seas of evangelicals, held down the fort for disbelief. And what made it even more fun is that I got to bring along.
You're sweating. Well, you are Swedish, so I get it. It's Swedish people. That's why they call them that, because of all the sweating. So much sweating, they named a country after him.
Oh, my buddy Cade. Cade Bradley is
Sweatland.
a wildly smart human being and a debater. He's an ex-Catholic, and most importantly, he's a homie. And I've got to be so candid up front.
K was cool, man. Shout out to K. I had a good time chatting with him. I didn't get to spend a lot of time with him, but it's always fun to hang with these guys.
This truly is like the cream of the crop in terms of quality of speakers.
The cream of the crop. Come on, somebody. He did add a little thing for evangelicals, which is super fun.
And just
I'll take it, man. Cream of the crop for evangelicals. Let me pull that back. That's a huge endorsement.
Truly is like the cream of
endorsement. Come on, somebody. Come on their back. You know, right above you. Pull out, just go right on the anyway.
The crop in terms
for evangelicals. Don't push your luck.
Of quality of speakers, funness, and just vibes. It's very, very high praise. This ain't your backwoods Baptist Friday night potluck and revival. This is true Christian YouTube royalty. Gavin Ortland, Sean McDowell, God Logic.
So these people are so funny. Is it in atheist nature to attack the weak and Christian? Do we attack the weak all the time? Is that what you're saying? That's something atheists do. Yeah, not something Christians do. In fact, they basically make it so that helping poor people is kind of like criminal if you're doing it with tax money, but giving that same tax money to blow up poor people and stuff, that's cool. That's allowed. In fact, it's encouraged. But helping poor people with that money, no, they don't deserve it. We only give money to people that already have too much with tax dollars. That's how that goes.
Who else was there? West Huff, the Backstreet.
But sorry, I meant to finish what he was. Let me pull it up because that's actually funny. That's actually kind of a funny message. There you go. Here it is. Is it in atheist nature to attack the weak and Christian? Because this guy just want to show love, but you atheists just love to hate. Okay. Yeah, sure, buddy. You know that like the KKK is a Christian organization, right? Did you know that? You didn't? Oh, yeah, they are. They kind of make hate into, and they make hate standardized for their group. Like they standardized hate, and it's Christian. Yeah. I think you guys are extreme atheists. You don't believe something harder than most people do believe things. That's right. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that. What the hell is an extreme atheist?
Boys,
we extremely don't believe something. We are extremely skeptical.
Maybe they're Christian now. I don't know. Mike Winger, the Apostle Paul, and Diplo. Diplo is there. He's a Christian now, so he gets a mic and gets to say things. And it was
hold on. I've never invited Diplo to anything. Slow down there, Jared.
It's a mattering of Christian teaching and
I don't think the Apostle Paul was there either, but I think these are what's called fast-paced humor.
And sessions and worship music. It was every ex-evangelical's worst nightmare, and I weathered the storm like a salty pirate of tumultuous waters of deconstruction. I hate this bit. I'm so sorry. Kate and I were the only atheists there.
I do kind of like this guy's style, though, man. It's
there on site, I think, but there was at least a couple of talks by some Orthodox folk, I think.
He is not Orthodox. I don't care if this guy's Orthodox. He's not Orthodox. But he looks.
It literally says that. I don't know if this guy is Orthodox, but he looks the part. Editor, which I think is him, unless maybe he's famous enough now to get those.
Orthodox. That's Art from Apologia Center. Shout out Art from Apologia Center. He actually opened up, did the first talk. He, like myself, grew up Oriental Orthodox. He is Armenian and Armenian.
I love anarchy. Do you know what anarchy even means, dude? We literally don't want to see the whole world. Like, you have a president right now that it's endorsed by all the Christians, or most of them, or a lot of them, more than none, right? who is trying to burn the entire world down right now. You get that, right? Like, he literally just said he's going to kill an entire civilization the other day, mostly in a fit of rage because he realized that, stuff actually works differently than the way he thought it did before he knew that actually there is a Muslim country that controls like where a shit ton of our resources come from, and they can actually close down that strait there, and he can't do anything about it. So he's pouting and screaming and crying and I'll blow you up. I'll do it. But yeah, the Christians though, they're the good loving ones, that elected the guy that's trying to blow up an entire civilization. Anyway,
Orthodox Party of the United States Orthodox, and he is now, I guess, like evangelical, like I am, which I don't think that's a useful term today. But I prefer mere Christian.
It's not a useful term. Yeah, I guess not. Evangelical. It's like, okay, but what kind? Which kind of tells you a whole lot about just the concept of Christianity. It just keeps on splitting off. Just keeps on. People go, I actually disagree about that verse. Yeah, well, yeah. We're going over here. Let's go to our own church. We're starting our own fucking church. You people that disagree on this one Bible verse over here, we're gonna go start our own thing.
In the thought line of C.S. Lewis, right? But yeah, so that's my man Arthur from Apologist. And a shout out. Go subscribe to his channel. He does a lot of great.
Don't tell me what to do.
Virtual apologetics ministry, as well as a lot of.
See, that's anarchy right there. Don't tell me what to do. I have better morals than the people that think they get to tell me what to do.
On the ground ministry from his local church, and I want to say with a parachurch ministry. I think it's InterVarsity.
And Trent Horn was there giving a panel discussion on Catholicism versus Protestantism. And then one of the highlights of the whole event was watching Jacob Hansen debate God logic on is the Trinity in the Bible. And then this
Gnostic Gospel of Thomas. Well, that's the first time I've ever said that it's a troll. I'm pretty sure it's a troll. Because that's not something Christians say. Well, you know what you need to do? Read the Gnostic texts. Said no Christian ever.
Conference was a big deal for me because I was a guest speaker.
And Jared Smith.
Oh.
Kind of, sort of. Like they didn't just give me free reign to go and free.
The sound effect really got him, man. It was like, oh man, it went right when he gave the fight because he just had something slimy in his hand or something. Oh, that is some good comedy right there.
Style on stage. I was on a panel discussion with Sean McDowell and Ruslan, which kind of ended up becoming Sean McDowell asking me questions. It was a good time. I'll talk about it more.
Sorry, I have an illness.
I had a really wonderful time. I had an absolutely incredible time. And that's primarily because I really like people. And I'm totally comfortable being the odd man in the room, the black sheep, the needle in the haystack, or the big, gigantic pile of
yeah, that one.
In a flower field.
Whoa, okay. Jared's great in that he kind of does roll with the punches, and I like that about him. He definitely was the oddball out in this environment and was very fun. He's always super fun to hang with and chat with. So despite
what do you think he means by roll with the punches? Usually it's just such an odd way to, so usually roll with the punches, as far as I understand, means like you're able to adapt as life gets challenging, right? Different challenges come, you adapt. Apparently life is just punching you, and you're like, oh man, I got it. It's cool. Oh, at first I'm a little bit disoriented because somebody's punching me, and then down, but no, I got it. I'll roll, and then you figure out that rolling actually helps from being punched or something, and that's not what he sounds like he's saying. What it sounds like he's saying is he's cool being roasted by a bunch of Christians, and he doesn't get mad about it. He's able to laugh at himself. It's cool. He's fine being verbally abused by a room full of hate-filled people.
All of our disagreements, he's a great guy, and I love hanging out with him. And I thought the conversation was great. It did turn into Sean.
You got a crush on him? I mean, he is a good-looking guy. I could. Well, I won't say, but I could. though. All right. You know, you don't want to see what's going on in here right now. Oh man, it's just, you know, moist, very, very moist, you know. But like I said, you need more than spit. You got to get that lube from the store. You know, Vaseline is fine too, you know, but the flavored stuff I think is just a little bit more versatile, you know.
Asking him a lot of questions, and then me gently pushing back a little bit, which all that's going to come out.
When I talk about evangelicals, I am talking about people who adhere to a certain set of Christian doctrines, Christian Protestant doctrines. The evangelical
biblicism, activism, the expression of gospel effort, crucentrism, a focus on Christ's atoning work on the cross. Okay.
Quadrilateral, somewhere.
Conversionism, the belief that lives need to be changed through being born again. Yeah, this is why I said mere Christianity, because it sure does sound like just.
I mean, all of those things are just basics, right? Like biblicism. I didn't know they were isms, but they were just biblicism, a high regard for the Bible as the supreme authority. Yep. Check. I used to believe that. Yep. Activism, the expression of the gospel in effort. Okay, sure. I don't. That's a weird way to say that, but crucicentrism. Fuck, that's impossible to say. A focus on Christ's atoning work on the cross. Yep. Conversionism, the belief that lives need to be changed through a quote unquote born again experience. Yeah, all of that describes Christianity, and I guess the evangelical kind. Is there a kind of Christianity that's not evangelical? Like what denomination of Christianity is like, don't tell anybody. This is ours. It's only ours. If we catch you telling other people the secret of the universe that our religion is true, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. Is there anybody like that? Is there any denomination like that?
Plain reading of scripture.
Around here, the beliefs that make up evangelicals, these four things. Now, some of the largest baggage that you might be associating with this thing is Maga. And
that's what I was doing that. Yeah.
This event certainly could not be described as Maga. Some of the
thanks, bud. Thanks, bud. Because I think that we.
Oh, thank goodness! I totally thought he was gonna just lump us in with those freaks.
Describe all evangelicals as MAGA just because a good chunk have voted for Trump.
People here.
Yeah, but and are MAGA, dude. Like there are a big chunk of evangelicals that just are MAGA. Like if you remove Trump, I know that like you think MAGA, you think like apologizing for Trump's insanity constantly, and that obviously plays a huge role. But if you take that one aspect out, evangelicals are all of those same things. Like they're still hateful, they're still angry, they're still fearful of anybody that's not exactly like them, and they're still insecure as all fucking get out about their masculinity, about you know, other religions being able to exist or having equal like treatment under the law. Yeah, all the same. They just happen to not apologize for the lunatic that lies all the goddamn time as he's blowing up a country and at war that we've won apparently 18 times now. I don't know how you win and not win these wars so many times. It's crazy.
Could be described as MAGA. But if all evangelicals are lumped into one big bucket, then you lose a whole lot of the gradation here that makes going to something like this as an atheist really interesting. I even met a few people who were like quietly pro-choice. Oh, can you say that? Is that loud? Is that a thing? No, I'm not trying to...
Oh shit. You're making fun, dude. Oh, you got jokes, huh? What was it? I missed it. What was it? I was reading the chat.
Here that makes going to...
Thanks, Cruise Chip. You're throwing me off. Now I'm missing jokes. All because you with your eccentricism. I see it because I can't read it. Okay? It's your fault. Next, somebody's going to be like, disestablishmentarianism. He's never going to pay attention to the video ever again. Watch this.
Have voted for Trump.
People here could be described as MAGA. But if all evangelicals are lumped into one big bucket, then you lose a whole lot of the gradation here that makes going to something like this as an atheist really interesting. I even met a few people who were like quietly pro-choice. Oh, can you say that? Is that loud? Is that a thing? No, I'm not trying to-
Hold on.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Now he just wrecked Ruslan's entire channel. He lost all of his subscribers right then. They were like, what? You can't be pro-choice. They dipped out. Unsub right now.
I don't think he met anybody that's pro-choice. And I'm definitely not pro-choice, for the record. This is Jared.
Wow, dude. You seem don't protest too much, or however that saying goes, like the way it actually goes.
It's so wild that I have to go into a pro-life integration right here, right now.
Integration? What the hell is that?
To show you that I am not pro-choice. One of the biggest critiques of folks against the pro-life movement is that we don't do enough for the baby and the mom after birth. We're just pro-birth. Well, this is why Human Coalition sponsored our event, and this is why you could partner with Human Coalition. For just $26, you can intercede for a mom that is...
Why is it $26? That's kind of strange. Make it $26. Everybody's doing 25. How about we do $1 more? Is that like your lowest? Like, dude, the other day, I know it's like way off topic, but the other day, I was coming out. I had to go get some medications, right? And so I was heading out the door from Walgreens, and this nice young lady like stops me and she's like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, hey, what's up? And she had like a table next to her, you know, and she's like, so anyway, what do you think about? And she was like asking about like, oh, man, now of course I can't even think of what it was. Basically, it's just like helping poor people kind of thing, right? And I was like, oh yeah, no, I like helping poor people. And like, but I'm broke, you know. It's just a thing that I am. And so I was like, going there and I was like, well, I'll give a couple bucks, but I didn't have any cash. So I was like, shit. And so she's like, here, just sign through this, you know, go through this whole thing. And I was like, why can't I just like, you know, just pull up the thing on the card? I'll just, you know, put my card next to the beeper thing and you could just beep me through like $5 or $6 and I can be on my way. They're like, no, sorry, you got to fill out all this information first. So I was like, shit. So I was like, all right, fine. I sat there and filled out all this information. Sat there for like 20 minutes. And not only that, she's talking to me. I have ADHD. Don't talk to me while I'm filling out a fucking form. I appreciate you being polite, but I can't focus on, how am I supposed to focus on the question that I'm trying to fill out and answer the question as fast as I can too? Because I was trying to get back to do the show. And she's asking me questions about like, what's Tuesday? What are you going on vacation? What are you doing? All these like questions. And finally I got, you know, I made it through all the way to the bottom, got everything filled out, you know, got as far as I possibly could. And then they were like, here's the part where you put your card. And it was a $30 donation. And I was like, wait, the $30 is the lowest donation? And she was like, oh yeah, that's the lowest we got. And like, okay, I can't do any of this. I got to go. And I literally just I was like, I'm sorry, I got to go. And I just walked off. I was so bad, but I was still trying to be polite, you know, because you're just like, what the, how did you not say that? When I was like filling all this shit out and everything, which I hope she didn't save all my information too, because that's probably another part of it, that they, you know, make money off of selling your information, because information about you is worth stuff to people now. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was so irritated. I was like, I just wanted to give like $5 or $6, you know, not $30. And then not only that, it was like a return, a reoccurring payment type of thing. Oh my God. Anyway, that was my story about the thing that I was saying. Anyway,
is looking to terminate her baby. And that's awesome, because not only does Human Coalition intercede.
Oh, it's awesome when people are looking to terminate their baby. Maybe you are pro-choice. That's pretty crazy that you would say something like that is awesome.
For that mom that is looking to terminate that baby, they also come alongside of her and provide her care, provide her social service work, provide her everything from her physical needs to emotional support. And for just $26 a month, you can be a part of that. So you can go to humancoalition.org/Ruslan. and so support this amazing organization, because again, I think often the critique from folks that are progressives, from folks that are pro-choices, you guys are just pro-birth, you just care about the woman's body and controlling her body. Hogwash.
It literally is, dude. Like this, the fact that you're the first to point like, oh no, this group, which we don't even know if this group actually does anything, to be honest. But like you know, they just say that they do, so that you'll give the money or whatever. But like, no, y'all are just pro-birth. You do not give a shit. Like you're the first people to be cut all the benefits for poor people. You know, like you want to force people to have the children and then cut all the benefits from these poor people that didn't want to have the kid because they're poor and can't afford to have the kid. And then you cut all their goddamn benefits. So now they get to sit there and watch the kid that you forced them to have fucking starve. Anyway.
Coalition is Womb to the Tomb, supporting the mom and the baby. You could read about some of the amazing testimonials they've saved. I want to say at this point, 35,000 babies that have came to life. Many of the moms completely turned their lives around because of the support. There's even story of one mom that went from being homeless to becoming a home owner after she kept her baby.
Oh my God! So you forced this homeless lady to give birth. And you're like, it's cool. She owns a home now. Like, pretty shit. You're telling me the this organization at $26 a month, you like push this lady, and it's not even like they pushed it. Like it's against the fucking law to not give birth in some of these states, whether you're fucking homeless or not. You know, even though the second you walk out the hospital, you owe like $37,000 goddamn dollars because America sucks. That's why. But fuck, what was I saying? Anyway, but yeah, but because of this organization, they bought her a home. Is that what I'm getting here? Because I feel like, did they just leave after that? They're like, oh no, we got her the home. Yeah, we're good. We're out. We're done. And she's like, hold on, I got to get the mortgage on this. That's due every month. God, where'd they go? Dear God, I'm in jail for not paying my, or you know, back homeless again probably. And they took my child.
And so big shout out to Human Coalition. Go make a donation. The link is pinned up, $26, and you can help protect an unborn baby. Okay.
So let's talk about like the day-to-day, right? Like the session by session. Somebody would come and give a talk. Then there'd be a panel discussion. Then there'd be some mingling in between sessions. People would grab lunch. They'd crack up in the green room, talk theology between the walls. And then all of it.
Nice. So, by the way, watching your show with Humanity's Last Breath playing in the background is pretty fucking epic. I agree. Hell yeah, dude.
Culminated in this big behemoth of a Christian rap concert there at the pier.
You know what I was thinking would be a good, I know it's off topic. You know what I was thinking would be a great name for a band or an album, or an album at least, right? And I looked it up, and I don't think anybody's done this, but don't steal my idea. God damn it. Okay. I will figure out if you got the idea from me watching this stream, and then I will come for you. But if you call it Rock Bottom's Basement, right? RBB, you know, we're going to see RBB this weekend. Yeah. What's up? We're Rock Bottom's Basement, or yeah, RBB. That's what I said. Yeah. That's pretty good. Rock Bottom's Basement. That's cool, right? It's pretty good.
On Oceanside Pier.
Shout out to we had KB. We had KB. We had Jake. We had Indie Tribe. We had a pretty amazing concert, if I may say so myself.
The big amphitheater there. This thing was a doozy. There were panel discussions, late night conversations over burgers, Q&As, and a whole host of really sincere and earnest conversations with people who are going through stuff. The talks had a lot of variety in them. A lot of good, a lot of meh, and a lot of bah. So let's start.
A lot of good, a lot of nah, and a lot of nah. You know, good lala or good nana, good nana. Yeah, it didn't work because it took too long for me to adjust to be able to say it.
But the good at its best, I think that there are some.
Oh God, yeah, that guy there. That dude is such a fucking snarky ass piece of shit. You know, he's still playing clips from Ember. Hey, what's going on? I didn't even see you in there. How you doing? What's up? But John, sorry, Ember. And he's like, what the fuck? But John said, trust me, your $26 will do much better work if you donate to a warming shelter. Warming shelter? Yeah, warming shelter. For the homeless. I assume that means just like a shelter. See, we don't have warming shelters in Florida. That's sort of what people are trying to get away from. Okay. So we have a cooling shelter. So it's kind of the opposite, but basically the same effect. But Ember, what's going on? What did Ember say? Burke, not that. John, seriously? You jumped right in front of the mouse. Anyway, it said burgers. Now you have my attention. Somebody said burgers? I didn't say burgers. I didn't see. Drusilla doesn't know where they are either. I don't know. I don't know where the burgers are at. Who said burgers?
Speeches here and some speakers here who gave talks that make Christians better. They make them better friends. They make them better neighbors. And I'm really excited to be in proximity. Thanks,
Jared.
Gavin,
oh my God. Ruslan, shut up. Okay? You're embarrassing yourself right now.
is a famous Protestant online apologist. And in his talk, he has this whole portion where he urges people to get offline and go talk to people in person, which is the thing that I'm always trying to urge people to do. He has this whole segment where he talks.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. To that. Yep. Agreed. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes.
About the sins of church history, and he's a Protestant apologist and defends Protestantism, but spent time claiming, hey, this is our history collectively, and we don't get to dodge the responsibility of taking ownership for the crappier parts of church history. Jeff's kiss, wonderful. Glenn Scrivener gave a really beautiful presentation on the Trinity, talking about how divine love was present from eternity past between the members and the persons of the Trinity. And Nate Sala gave a really moving presentation on how mercy should be at the core of our gospel presentation. He actually recounted this story that struck close to home for me. He told this story about how in the town of Wheaton, where I went to college, there was like an ex-convicts ministry where like people who had recently been released from the prison system had a place to go to get like refamiliarized with regular.
It's really strange to me. When I apologize if it's all glitched up, it seems. I don't know why it's been doing that. But it's really weird when these atheists like go to these places where it's a ton of right-wing Christians, which, let's be honest, are the reason why Trump was elected in the first place, right? And they have all of these right-wingers and shit who have the worst ideology and are a lot of the most they have like the most harmful ideology. I would say that it vilifies poor people. It kisses the ass of the wealthy. It, and it just makes everybody easier to be manipulated by people within the power structures trying to get as much power as humanly possible, right? And using that power to then take our tax money and go blow up children and shit. So they are objectively harmful. And then you got these fucking atheists. They're like, oh, but they were nice. They're nice people. They told people to go outside. It's so good. It's so sweet. He's kind of right about that. Like, no, dude, what the hell? Like, why are you giving them this? Stop. They're harmful. Call out this shit, because it's like them being nice to you and encouraging people to go outside does not does not make up for all the harm that they put out into the fucking world, dude. It's so irritating with like Alex O'Connor and people like this guy just acting like these religious groups aren't objectively fucking harmful. And we got like women literally bleeding out in waiting room floors, having their bodies like literally screwed up for the rest of their lives because their body doesn't matter. Only if the fetus is going to end their life. That is all that matters. They can be irreparably damaged forever. Doesn't matter. They don't care. The fetus matters more. But hey, they encourage people to go outside, so it's awesome. It's equal. Jesus. Unbelievable. Hey, if you feel like it, you can smash that like button. I'd appreciate it. Oh. Yeah, see, it doesn't snow here. I'm in Florida. And when we do, it's like, they're like, oh, it's snowing outside. And you go look at it. It's not snow. It's like little flickers of nothing. They like land on your hand and disappear immediately. It's like, that's not snow. Like, we need a different word. Flurries. It's flurry. It flurries here in Florida. It doesn't snow. That it's a completely different thing. But yeah, if you want, it'd be cool if you want to smash that like button. See, like that, like the creepy. Wow, that is creepy. That's it. I mean, that almost makes people like they're gonna hit the down thumb because of that creepy face. Like, why is he winking at me? Look, he winks. The fuck, Elon Musk? Why are you making me look nuts? Jesus, one more time, just for good measure. Look at the fuck. I'm gonna do this one from now on. Yeah, see, claymation punk, not creepy at all. Totes normal. Anyway. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. We got to wrap this sucker up. It's been 2.5 hours, and I'm kind of tired. I'm gonna be honest. It's tough for me to do these these videos after I've done a full day of work, which is, so Sunday mornings. That's what we're doing from now on. These kinds of streams Sunday mornings at like either 9 or 10 or 9:30, somewhere in there, Eastern Standard Time. So put it on your calendar. I'm going to put it in the Discord so that everybody can keep track. That's our big streaming day. But I will, of course, be randomly streaming other days as well. But that's going to be the main day that I always stream. Okay. All right, Joe. And now a word from our sponsor. Take it away, Amber.
In 2024, NASA researcher Rachel Lenz gave the world a flag made from NASA images for Pride Month. On January 20th, 2025, the incoming U.S. administration ordered that Artistic Union of Science and Civil Rights deleted. So I tracked down the original images it was made from, recreated it, and then added even more wonders of the cosmos to update the flag to the current, more inclusive form. On the anniversary of the inauguration, I released it. And it went viral several times. Now you can get a physical copy of that artwork as a full-sized flag or a large sticker, as well as space artworks of the other Pride flags: lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, intersex, ace, and new flags being added all the time. Get one for yourself or give them as gifts, and celebrate Pride, celebrate science, celebrate resistance, and help support a creator fighting for human rights for all humans. Head to astralpride.com. and use code PUNK at checkout for an exclusive offer.
Hell yeah. I love that. And thank you so much, Deviant, for putting that, for putting the link in the chat there. So yeah, definitely grab yourself a flag. And the stickers, the large stickers, we actually get $1 donated to this show. So, but buy all of it. Get the big flag. I got the big flag. So I don't know if you can see it. It's there. It's right. Yeah, see it. Anyway, I got to put it up still. I'm in a state of flux all the time. It's just continuous flux. Oh, that's a band. There's a band name, Continuous Flux. Anyway, probably come up with a better word than continuous, but something flux. You know what I'm saying? Mother flux. Nah, that's pretty good, but I don't know. I don't know if you could put that on the cover of an album. You know, it's got to be family friendly for the name at least. Anyway, I know Millions of Dead Cops is a band, but that's a little bit different. Okay, and I'm demonetized. God damn it.
Are you about to engage in blasphemy?
Yeah, I am. I already did it. But, all right, so thanks so much for hanging out. This was a lot. This is a lot of fun. Like I said, doing the shows on Sundays now, so definitely be there. There's a lot of different ways that you can support the channel, apart from supporting Ember's channel, but you should do that too. Here's the list, and all the links are in the chat And there's a lot of there's a lot of good stuff that you could support here. And it'd be not that. Stop. That was Kevin. Don't support that. Anyway, here's all this stuff you can do. Anyway. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Y'all are the best. And we will see you next time. Hey, the main thing is to stay logical, stay loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we will see you next time. I did the end first. I messed up. That wasn't right. That wasn't the right way to do it. But I fixed it now. So it's okay. Anyway, all right, love y'all. Woo! Oh, blood badger. I didn't even think. Hi. Good to see you there. All right, we're done.